Hey y'all, welcome to this Gemini Full Moon tarot reading. This is the last reading of the year. The year is closing out. I don't know where you're at watching this, but here in Massachusetts it's raining. It first started off as snow, then it turned into like rain. So that's what's happening over here, but hopefully it's a lot more sunnier and drier where you're at. So for this full moon ceremony, I have a little something different. It's actually going to be a full moon ceremony, the typical ritual where we pull out tarot cards, some messages for the collective, all 12 houses, all the way from starting with Aries through Pisces. But this is also going to be a burning ritual. Since this is the end of the year, it's only fitting that we release the things that do no longer serve us, right? So we can enter 2022 refreshed, revived with messages so we can continue our journey. So I'm going to get into what this burning ceremony looks like. I did this before, interestingly enough, last year after the conjunction with Jupiter and Capricorn under the house of Aquarius, that whole shebang. And then I did a burning ceremony and it was the full moon in Cancer, and we were talking about like hang-ups, especially when in regards to family, maybe some mother issues, cutting and clearing of cords and things of that nature. So it's going to go off a little bit something of what I did in the past with the burning of the cord ceremony, but this is more so like the things that no longer serve you in 2021, certain life lessons, people, places, and things, whatever the case may be for you. We're going to release that. So when January 1st, 2022 comes, we're refreshed to live that new chapter in our lives. So I'm going to get into what this full moon in Gemini is giving for the collective. Now, let me see something real quick. Okay. So this full moon in Gemini for the collective, what it is giving is the energy of being your authentic self unapologetically, right? We have a lot of things going on in the constellations within the astrology, and I will get into it later on in this video. But in general, that Gemini energy to its extreme end is like a Kanye, right? Very rapid, erratic, creative, snippy, very, just a vivacious type of energy. And that is that Gemini adaptable energy, that energy of needing to communicate. Mercury rules Gemini, needing to express oneself in the full authenticity, no matter if people think you look crazy or no matter if people don't understand it. It is you owning that part of you where it's like, I am here, hear me roar, in that Mercury energy of creativity, of that uniqueness, of that playfulness, of that, needing to be in your authenticity, especially when it does doesn't profit us to be authentic, meaning you see this in everyday life where people are one track minded and everybody's expected to follow that one track mindedness. And when you step out of that norm, you get a lot of resentment, a lot of hesitation, a lot of like poo pooing, a lot of like get in line. And that Gemini's energy is asking us, is that the way that we want to live our lives? Do we want to live our lives prepackaged, uniformed, atomized, or do we want to live our lives ferociously, ambitiously, loudly, unapologetically? Even if it's right or if it's wrong, it's your truth. And that's what matters at the end of the day. But before we go any further, I need to clear out this energy. I just was reminded, like, girl, did you clear out this energy? And I did not. So let me do that real quick. We're going to sage the desk and the cards, and then we will continue moving forward. Let me do this. I already have the candles. Okay. Alrighty. Whew, that was good. All right. Spirit, please allow us to be in our clearest and highest mindset. Let us remove the anxiety, the self-doubt, the depression, the negative self-talks. Let us get our most intuitive and clear messages from our spirit guides, from you, of course, Mother, and our ancestors, so we can develop ourselves, so we can reach our highest of goals and be present to release the things that no longer serve us and welcome in the things that do. Ooh, ashe, ashe. Make sure the sage is all the way off. Okay. Now, so that is the full moon reading for the collective. So in general, for all 12 houses, is the energy of being your authenticity. It's interesting that I'm saying all this, and I literally can picture in my head the Fool card. It's literally like, you know how when children, young children, especially that toddler age, where they come out and they're just like, ah, like daredevils, right? They'll come out in their little pampers and like shout from the mountaintop and not care, and they'll get themselves dirty, and they'll play with the dogs, and they'll just be a little, wildebeest. But it's the energy of like, I don't care, I love it. I'm literally hearing, I don't care, I love it. And it's just that energy of like, what do you have to lose by being you? What do you have to lose by being your most authentic self? What do you have to lose by standing in your authenticity unapologetically? It's like you realizing that you are your own soulmate. Speaking of that, in tarot, we know the sixth card is the lover's card, and that's associated with Gemini and that energy of brotherly love, that energy of the lovers, right? You can't be a lover to others if you're not a lover to yourself. You can't be real with others if you're not real with yourself. This energy of the Gemini full moon is like you facing yourself in a mirror. It's like you realizing the soulmate that you're looking for starts with you first and foremost before you can go out there and try to create bonds with other people. And if you do so, you end up in karmic situations. And we know how that ends up, right? Twin flamage galore. So now that I said all I had to say, let me first close my laptop because I forgot it was behind me. Let me do that. Okay. Now, I'm going to pull up the astrology on my phone to let y'all know what's going on. And then we're going to read an article. And then we're going to get into what the burning ceremony looks like and what are some messages Spirit has for the collective to wrap up this year, 2021. Hopefully, you got your goals done. Hopefully, you released things, you welcomed things, you tried things, you ended things. Hopefully, you lived, whether COVID, whether pandemic, or otherwise. Hopefully you prioritize yourself, you got into your self-care, you loved up on yourself, you set boundaries, you went out, you lived your best unapologetic life, and so on and so forth. And may 2022 have the same productive and abundant and ascending energy for you and yours. Now, we are on the website theplanetstoday.com. So currently we have Mercury in Sagittarius. We have Venus in Capricorn. However, Venus goes station retrograde in Capricorn on Sunday, December 19th, so tomorrow. So currently, Venus just went into Capricorn. Right now, full moon ceremony. And then by tomorrow, you wake up, it's in retrograde. Like, Spirit be doing things like that. So there's that. Mars in Scorpio, Jupiter in Aquarius, Saturn in Aquarius, Uranus retrograde in Taurus, Neptune retrograde in Pisces, Pluto in Capricorn, Chiron retrograde in Aries. So that's what's going on with the astrology right now. We got a couple of planets in retrograde, and we do have a couple of planets kind of hugged up right now with Jupiter in Aquarius as well as Saturn in Aquarius. So needless to say, the energies are really on some, like, I'm really feeling the energy of Michael Jackson. I'm looking at the man in the mirror. Oh yeah, I'm asking him to change his ways. It's literally that energy, but it's not like, because usually, especially in this over politicized society of left, right, up, down, it's usually that duopoly. It's usually that othering. But what if the other is you? What if the demon is you? What if what's holding you back is you? And that's the energy I'm feeling for the collective. And if that is you, how do you uproot that up out of you so when that springtime energy comes in, you will be in full blossom to welcome that harvest, that energy that you put in through the winter, so you can blossom like the rose that you are in the summer. Now, let's pull up an article from, let me see, is this the article? Yes, Refinery 29. So, let me refresh the page real quick. It goes, tonight's full moon. What's going on? Okay. Had to zoom out real quick. Hold on. Okay. Today's full moon in Gemini asks us to reflect on our own dueling impulses. I'm telling you, it's that Gemini, brotherly love, or like the twins, the quote unquote good and the bad. It's all of that, but it's all within. Self-sabotaging. I'm feeling that energy of even like self-doubt, or the energy of imposter syndrome, like I don't deserve this, or this couldn't happen to me, or good things don't happen to people like me. I'm feeling that energy, and spirits like dead that does not serve you. And for 2022, where it's like 2 2 2 2 6, those twos add up to 6. It's about that balance. It's about that even Stevenness that I'm getting. It's like getting yourself into balance too, so you can receive this abundance that's coming within that balancing year, that fair, that just, I'm getting very much Libra justice card energy for what's coming for 2022 in regards to the karma. The karma that you create is very much what the collective is going to experience. So let's get into the article. In the Northeast, the temperatures are dropping and the nights are the longest they'll ever be. Fairy lights cast flickering on the branches of blighted trees in the New York City. The COVID-19 positivity rate is multiplying at a startling rate. Thinking of the test site lines that once again wrap around city blocks, these lyrics from Joni Mitchell's River come to mind. It's coming on Christmas. They're cutting down trees. They're putting up reindeer and singing songs of joy and peace. I wish I had a river I could skate away. It's only right that the full moon in Gemini meets us under these conditions, arriving on the night of December 18, just in time to reflect our duality back at us. Expectations versus reality, wants versus needs, conviviality versus quarantine. Relationships are a big theme around this time of year. And there's an ad. Oh my goodness, I hate that. Okay. Xnay. Right back at it. I lost my place. Okay. What some might still refer to as cuffing season, or their dregs of it, Christmas movies about lonely career women finding love under a snowy burrow in their rural hometown are a part of it. And honestly, off like record, I just finished watching one of those sappy love movies before doing this reading, so it's kind of ironically funny. But back to the article. Sure, but not the only part. While there are some people who enjoy the hermetic solitude of a December night, the quiet company of books or fire, and anticipation, the time off for work, many others have weathered a winter alone, not by choice, but for the sake of public health. The influence of Venus retrograde is palatable, not just by way of cosmetic energy, but by the power of suggestion. One can only read about reevaluating one's relationship for so long, after all, before one gets the hint. Perhaps then it's worth noting the full moons are all about relationships too, about the mirror that those who love holds up to us, about the dueling impulses within us, the ritual of reflection, so often proposed on full moon nights, offers us a chance to reflect, as in, quote, review what has come to pass, quote, or as in, quote, cast back, quote, like full moons open, or like full moons themselves, which hold luminaries in opposition. There's a duality that surfaces in these definitions where reflection is both a place of acceptance and rejection. The stars of Gemini certainly don't temper things. The moon shining them is a two-sided coin, but everything is at least two-sided, isn't it? The dualities surface in our neighborhoods as we watch our communities choose sides between getting tested, scheduling vaccine boosters, and wearing masks versus an apathy that believes faith in herd immunity. See, was trying, again, didn't I just say I was trying to keep it non-political? I said that. And as we're reading, we see how everything turns into a political thing. But ironically, the article even proves my point before we got into the article, but it also, another layer of it proves it to another level where it's like, again, this duality is asking us to face ourselves, like maybe it is us, and then how do we change it? How do we adapt? How do we accept the information and move accordingly? As well as with this article and putting in, the facts and whatnot, it's about being able to see it from a different perspective, not just our own perspective. Like, rejection is protection, but if you think rejection is the end all be all, you'll sit in the energy of no one likes me, I'm rejected, I'm addicted, I'm just a nothing, right? But if you sit in the energy of like rejection is protection, I know behind every no is a bigger yes, then be grateful, because on the back end, the things that you didn't see behind door number one was all this trauma drama, all this backstabbing, all this narc energy, and you was crying over something that you thought was the creme de la creme, but really it was a test, and you passed by not even getting into that situation, you know. They surface in the way our families of origin treat us and the way we find ourselves treating those we love. They surface in our own desires for ease and comfort, one to to one to 2 day delivery services at low prices, and most people's desire to be quote good quote and quote good onto others quote. The risk that these delivery services put their employees under, the recent evidence of cruelty. So she's referencing the tornado that hit the Midwest. During the tornado, a lot of Amazon workers were forced to work during the tornado. So I understand that as well. So as she mentioned in the article, the consumers, those who have Amazon, especially those who have Amazon Prime, like, is it worth having 2 day shipping at the cost of some human's life? That's a morality issue. Again, it's within us. I'm looking for the man in the mirror. Oh, yeah. I'm asking him to change his way. Again, I'm just feeling the energies. I'm just putting it out there. These are the not always gentle reminders that Gemini offers us and makes clear in the tarot card of the Lovers associated with Gemini. The Lovers is a card that troubles our human desire for consistency by driving us toward oppositions. The Lovers card reminds us that up against the unpredictable elements of human behavior, everything we do is a choice, even passive acceptance. In regards to the example with the Amazon thing, those who have Amazon, those who use Amazon, whether you have Prime or not, you could always be like, well, I don't have 2 day shipping, or my package didn't go through the Mid East or the Midwest. Like, you could always make excuses for why you're still gonna continue to propagate this corporation. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much you want to bargain, how much you want to have a sliding scale, no matter how you spin the narrative. Like, once you know it's an unhumane corporation, you can't like unknow it. You can't like rearrange the information. Once you know, you cannot unknow. So within that example that she's giving, it's a moral issue, and you would have to face yourself. Is it worth continuing getting what you want to get, how you want to get it, if it is at the cost of human lives? And I'm going to let this ambulance run through as confirmation. So let's hold for a minute or two. All right. So at least they weren't speeding. I will say that. They were driving normally with the lights flashing and the sirens because it is actually raining pretty hard and there's like a accumulation of water on the road. So I wouldn't want anybody speeding and glistening and accidents. When we try to avoid a mistake, we should try to avoid it. Now back to the article. The full moon's in conjunction aspect to Venus retrograde and Pluto echoes this understanding and reminds us that choices we make reflect not only who we are but what we value, especially these choices are when these choices are uncomfortable. And while the moon trine in Jupiter in Aquarius is a harmonious aspect, it's also a magnifying one. In concert with Jupiter, the full moon's reflection are all the more potent and all the more consequential. What we accept about ourselves, what we cast off as the other, what we relinquish in the name of love will be what shades our months to come. Didn't I say this is about karma? And Jupiter is the planet of luck. And when you have luck, you can have good luck, you can have bad luck. When you have karma, you can have good karma, you can have bad karma. You know? You know? But anywho, that is the article. Now, we're going to get into the burning ceremony part. So with the burning ceremony, I have this old piece of paper. As you can see, it is an envelope because I was just so quick and lazy. I just wanted a piece of paper to write out these 10 things, these 10 items that I wanted to complete this year, but I wanted to be on a unconscious level, meaning that I'm not always aware of it. I'm not always thinking about it. It's not on my to-do list. It's something like I eventually want to, let's say, be a better dancer. Well, that would be more conscious. Let's say, I like be more, let's say, grounded in meditation, right? Because people perceive like meditation to be something that's very easy. You just cross your legs, crisscross applesauce, and then you get into the mood. And it's a practice. Like the first time you meditate, it's gonna be hard to get into that stance because you're not supposed to be like, get into meditation, get into the meditation. You can't force yourself to get into meditation. But if you're not used to doing it, your brain is going to be like, yeah, 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 get into meditation. And it's not going to work. And it's going to be super awkward. It's going to feel super awkward. But the more that you get into the habit of like, okay, I'm going to practice at least 15 minutes a day, any time of the day, whether it's morning, afternoon, or night, I'm going to consistently have the same pattern. Like, for example, I'm gonna start meditation next week. So let's say it's gonna be midday. So like that would be like what, 11 a.m. So 11 a.m. from Monday all the way to Sunday. And I'm gonna do this for a full, let's say, month. I'm telling you, by week 3, getting into meditation is gonna feel like easy because eventually you're gonna get good at it, and you're not gonna have to force your body to get grounded, and you're not gonna even be consciously aware of like, am I in meditation? Oh, how long have I been trying to do this thing? Like, it's just naturally gonna flow. So that was the concept with this 10 list of things that I wanted to have transpire for the year 2021. Interestingly enough, um there it's about like about 8 things consciously that I'm aware of on this list that has been completed, and there's like maybe 2 left, maybe 2 or 3 left that has not. And 2020, what is it, 2021, there's a couple of weeks left over, so you never know. But also, it's not a test, it's not like a gimmick, it's not like positive reinforcement with your dog. You train your dog to like potty train, like poop and pee in like the outside, and then like you give it a treat. Like, it's not something that you're training. You're not training spirits, it's not training you, not dogs. Everybody have free will, right? We're humans. But it is the energy of like, you putting good faith into something, and you're not trying to control the energy. You're not trying to dominate the energy. You're trying to be light and airy and flexible, like that Gemini energy. Gemini energy is very adaptable. Some might even say passive, but it's the energy of being able to kick it with anybody, be in any space, speak however you want to speak, express yourself the way that you want to express yourself, and not having the mentality of like, well, I don't know if people are gonna like it. I don't know this. I don't know that, because you don't know. You don't know, and it's not for you to, you know, curate your life around other people's opinions. Are you living for them? Or are you living for you? So it's that type of energy. So I'm going to read to you what's on the envelope, the 10 listed items. They're not in order. I just wrote them down. But I'm going to read them to you, and then I'm going to, proceed with what's to come. The only thing I'm going to do a little different is actually cut the size of the envelope. So it'd be like one long piece of paper. Because I did have to write on both sides because my handwriting is big. And then on top of that, I end up writing on two sides. So let me do that. And I think this is the envelope that had my bank statement too. So there's a little bit extra luck on there. So this is how it looks like. So on the front side, it says travel safely. And interestingly enough, November, me and a couple of my friends, we ended up having a girls' road trip to DC. Totally unplanned, totally off kilter. It was an opportunity. We jumped on it. And when I tell you, like, everything about that trip went chef's kiss. Like, it was so random, but we had the best Airbnb with the best price, with the best location. Like, everything was just so smooth. Once we said, like, yeah, we're gonna do it, everything was great. Now, we didn't get to see a lot of things. We didn't get to go to a lot of places. I actually did do a video on it on my TikTok, Travel Tales, at Travel Tales, except Tales is spelled TALESZ. So after the S is a Z, Travel Tales on TikTok. But also, I did a video on it in regards to self-care and what I did and what I went through and my ratings on food and things of that nature. But it was so spontaneous. It was so Gemini energy to be like, yep, we're gonna do it, we're gonna plan it, we're gonna go, like Columbus Day weekend or Indigenous Day weekend, we're gonna go, we're gonna experience. And it was such like a liberating feeling, but it was also a form of bonding between me and my friends. So like, that was one of the things that I wanted to do, travel internationally, hopefully. But like, I was cool with it just being local. Just the experience of just going somewhere new, experiencing something different was good enough for me. And it just fell into my lap. And it was totally unplanned because of, current life, our quote unquote new normal. So I'm going to cut that off to burn. So y'all can see, just cutting it. Next on my list, a few more soul tribe friends relationships. So this was in regards to which happened on my birthday month. I'm a Taurus. So I think like the day after, or a couple of days after my birthday, my 29th birthday, baby girl's, maturing. I ended up going because I'm so notoriously late, and I don't try to be. And I'm Black, and I don't want this stereotype. Black people be late, but honestly, even when I plan to be on time, I somehow end up late. Like, anyways, TMI. I met them because I was trying to get to a meetup, but I ended up getting there late. And honestly, it wasn't my fault. This time around, it was like directionally challenged, which sometimes I am. Like, I GPS everything because I really am like directionally challenged. But nonetheless, so I ended up going to like a meetup super, super late, and I felt awkward about it. And I was just like, damn, like, I don't want to be late. And then everybody's, already mingled and got to know people. And I'm just like, hi. But I ended up going nonetheless. And I met a couple of really cool people. We still kept up even after the meetup. And the two girls that I ended up going to DC with my trip are the girls that I met from the meetup. So there you go. Life happens, spontaneity, and we're still really good friends. We talk literally a couple of times a week. So there's that on that. Okay. The other thing I wrote was more confidence. Okay, more confidence. Okay. I knew what it said, but I wasn't sure if the next line after it was its own thing or was it together. And I'm assuming it's its own thing. So it was confidence, more confidence. I felt like 2020 and before that, because this is for 2021 this year, I felt like I was confident, but not outwardly confident, not like communicative confident. Like, yes, I presented well. Yes, I spoke well. Yes, I smelled well. All that, right? But like, was I confident enough to set boundaries? No, I was not. Was I confident enough to advocate for myself? No, I was not. Was I confident enough to stand on my truth even if it offended other people? No, I was not. Like, was I very much passive? Was I very much people pleasing? Yes, I was. So with the more confidence, it was like knowing that about me, checking that within me, and then like applying those boundaries, cutting people off, speaking up for myself, advocating for myself, saying like, girl, that's wrong, like, no sir, and being very unapologetic about it, because it made me happy. It made me less anxious when I told the truth. And it wasn't like I was lying, but it was one of those like, I don't want to hurt your feelings, even though holding my tongue was hurting my own feelings. You see what I'm going with that? So there's that. This is the Gemini energy. I feel like I'm catching up with an old time friend. Like, girl, this is what's the latest happening in my life. Speaking my truth more often. So that's another point of the list. So with speaking my truth more often, again, with the confidence thing, it's like saying what I want to say, even if it offends people. And it's not because I'm maliciously saying things that are mean or horrid or things to like blow people's self-esteem. What I mean by that is like, I'm going to say the truth, even if it offends you, because the truth will set everybody free. It's kind of like when you see those movies where like there's something happening within the family dynamic, but everybody doesn't want to say anything because they don't want to offend somebody. I felt like every day I was living in that reality because I was propping up people's like their burden. So I was like, the therapist, the nurse, the best friend, the shoulder to lean, all of that. And it's just like, girl, you wouldn't have to put all this burden on my shoulders if you would have just dealt with your bullish. Like, I wouldn't have to keep on mothering you if you would set boundaries with toxic men. It was like that type of energy. So it was the energy of just like, I have to speak my truth, and my truth is X, Y, and Z. So there's that. As well as saying like, I need breaks, I need me time, I need vacation, I need self-care, and being very unapologetic about that, because we are not robots, we are humans. All right, gotta flip the other side. The other point was paint your truth. This year, I ended up doing a Paint Your Truth event with the city of Somerville. I did at Davis Square for the annual arts festival, and I felt very freaking accomplished. I'm not even gonna lie. I felt so great because it was such a great turnout because of COVID, pandemics, lockdown, shutdowns, and isolation, quarantine. It felt good being around people, even though we still had masks, hand sanitizer, all that spaced out 6 feet, all that. It was still good to like be around human beings. It was still good to like smell the fresh air. It was so good just to like be in commune. And that was something that I really wanted to do. And there was a lot of people who ended up participating in that workshop. And I again made a video on that on my YouTube channel. And everybody who participated enjoyed the process. They took their paintings. It was about how self-care looks like to them, how will they implement it into their daily lives, and things of that nature. So I did that, and I ended up doing workshop paint your truth sessions on this YouTube channel. I did it more regularly in the summer, but life is happening now, as well as kind of juggling a couple of different hats right now. But I still am doing these Paint Your Truth self-care process painting sessions on YouTube. Matter of fact, I have one coming up soon, so stay tuned for that. But it's just the energy of prioritizing my self-care, my wellness unapologetically, and then talking about that with other people. Like I'm telling you, I'm nobody's psychologist or nobody's doctor, but once you get into like talking about self-care, I'm telling you, a lot of people are just like right on, like, girl, like I want to get into my self care. I want to get into my painting. Like, it's been a long time I rode my bicycle. It's been a long time I went swimming. It's a long time I sat home and just watched BS TV because it just calmed my nerves. It's been a long time that I've catered to myself, that I loved on myself, that I took time out for myself. I prioritized myself. So, talking about mental health, talking about self care, talking about giving yourself the love that you give to others, or the love that you don't find within yourself, giving it to yourself, medicating yourself in that way, and healing yourself. So it's been a very interesting year in regards to process painting, self-care, wellness, paint your truth, and all that jazz. I will say that. And in 2021, I officially created this channel. So there's that on that. My other note, I wouldn't be able to call myself a Taurus if I didn't write money and lots of it. There wasn't a lot of money this year. I will admit there was not a lot of money this year. However, there was money. The thing about it was I didn't have everything that I wanted, but I ended up having everything that I needed. And that's the important part, right? It's important to have your needs met and not your wants. Your wants is like, oh, I want me a Chanel bag, but your need is, oh, I need to pay rent. Like, you don't want to be the flyest chick in a cardboard box with your Chanel purse because you didn't pay rent. It's that type of energy. And that was all throughout 2021, I will admit. And I wouldn't say just for me. I mean, a lot of people had a lot of financial hardship during the pandemic, and even before the pandemic, if we want to be honest about it. So, yeah. Spiritual community growth. So I feel like with spiritual community growth, I felt like getting deeper into talking about tarot, talking about astrology. Like, it's funny. I grew up Jehovah's Witness. I don't know if I've ever talked about it on this channel, but I grew up Jehovah's Witness, and it's interesting when people know that and they know that I do tarot and I do astrology, and they're like, how did that happen? And I'm just like everything else. Like, when someone comes out the closet, when someone defines themselves as like polyamorous or polygamy, like, you're like, how did that happen? And they're just like, this is me. Or like someone, says like, I'm really into ballerina, and this person's like 6'5" and like 200 pounds. Like, you just never know what people are into. And then on top of that, it really has to do with my own personal development, my own spiritual growth. It has to do with the fact that I've gone through a lot of things in my own life. And spirituality has grounded me in ways that, like, no therapy, no therapist, no full feel good Oprah masterclass, no nothing has ever, because it was really just getting to the core of me. Like, what has shaped me, what has developed me, what has impacted me, and what is the good and bad from that. And if there is bad, which there was, how do I how do I deal with that? Do I just discard everything? Do I filter everything? Do I try to find gems in it? Like, what is that about? And a lot of my spiritual development came out of learning stoicism, came out of Carl Jung's teaching, especially when we're talking about the shadow and things of that nature. A lot of it came out of psychology. I started off my spiritual journey, ironically, reading Robert Greene's The Laws of Human Nature. And that gave me perspective to, like, wow, like, this is what happens when you start off like this, you end up like that. Like, developmental psychology. And side note, I did get my bachelor's in psychology, but I don't have my license. It just kind of made more sense to me of, like, life is more than fitting the mold. And I just went through a rabbit hole of me, a rabbit hole of personal development, a rabbit hole of, like, spiritual messages, ascending, magic, healing, burning of cords, like setting. But I'm telling you, like, it's interesting because people know me today cannot fathom who I was like 2, 3 years ago. Like I have drastically have changed my personality, the way that I see life, the way that I commune, even my body has drastically changed. And people who know me prior are always like, what the F happened? Like, what did you do? Like, what is this? What is that? And I'm just like, life, honestly. I remember, interestingly enough, since we're recapping 2021 and talking about this list, I remember, I want to say late December, around this time actually, last year during the conjunction. Oh my God. Yeah. I remember having a very deep, dark, like save me, like I'm giving myself to Christ type of moment where I was just like, spirit, like I don't like who I am, I don't like this destiny that I'm on, I don't like the fact that I'm so anxious, the fact that I'm depressed, the fact that I feel like I'm going on an endless loop, I'm dealing with the same narc people, like I don't like the fact that I just was very, very, very honest. And I remember crying, and I remember just like, please save me from me, please change me from me, please make me a better person, because I just cannot continue being so neurotic and depressed. And I feel like that personal, like one-to-one moment with God heard me. And God was like, bet. And we're going to hold hand in hand. And we're going to go through this. We're going to cry through it. We're going to whine through it. We're going to snot nose through it. We're going to do all of it to it together. And that's how I became who I am. I remember pulling some tarot cards during that episode. It was just like a very strong tower moment. But like from that, it really kicked off like this spiritual journey in regards to tarot and magic and spirituality. But it really kicked like my ascension. Like I felt like from that moment on, it was like it's only upward from here. Like now you are officially have burned, you have officially rebirthed, and now it's only up from here. Now you have to just ascend like a phoenix from the ashes. So that's my long-winded answer. Okay. More YouTube Podbeam subs. Again, I created content like this on my other channel, and I stopped creating spiritual content because the topics that I wanted on the other channel was more political and more social commentary, and I wanted one of my channels to be just more self-care, spiritual based, so we can have that even energy, that yin yang energy. So for that aspect, this particular goal of achievement wasn't for this channel, it was for the other channel. More YouTube and Podbean subscribers. I ended up having more. I'm going to be honest with you. It wasn't to my, I guess you could say, expectations, which is why you shouldn't really have expectations. You should just do it for the love of doing it. It was, but it's one of those things where it's like, be careful what you wish for, because I ended up getting not what I wanted. Like, let's say, relatively speaking, I have 390 subscribers. I wanted like 1,000 by the end of 2021. So around this time. I didn't achieve it, but the subscribers that I ended up having, or the content that I made, that the viewership that I ended up grabbing or obtaining, catching their eye, isn't the type of, I guess you could say, base that I would like. Like I would want a base that's more, how do I take this information and apply it to my life? How do I reflect on who I am? How do I make better decisions? And the subscribers that I ended up drawing in were subscribers who wanted to hear that message, but they wanted more of a message that was skewed towards the narrative of coddling and codependency and victimization and trauma bonding. And I don't have that. So, interestingly enough, I'm going to upload a video where I discuss that particular guess what's on my chest, was just like, I need y'all who are on that energy of trauma bonding, please unsubscribe, because I don't want that energy on the channel. So it ended up happening, more subscribers, but it's one of those things where it's like, be careful what you ask for. But we're definitely going to burn that. And it's okay because we all go through things. Sometimes, we need that coddling when we're kids and we fall off the bike. We want our moms to rush over, put us on her lap, smack our heads between her chest and tell us everything is okay. It's cute at 2. Not as cute at 25. At 25, I would expect you to have better coping skills, So it's one of those type of situations, right? Healthier mind, body, and soul. I feel like 2022 is very much of a testament to this. I felt like I have been tested throughout 2021. I feel like a healthier mind, body, and soul. Like my mental health is way, way better. Like right now is cold as F. I should be out here having seasonal depression. Don't feel one iota of depression. Hallelujah, praise God. The way I see things, the way I perceive things, the way that I take and digest information, the way I reflect on things, the way I don't take things personal, the way I'm really on my stoicism, like hermit-ish, like my mind has totally like evolved in ways I was just like, wow, clarity on so many levels. Body, like I said, my body has dramatically changed. And it's really losing weight. I still want to tone my body because there's places, like we all have, we want to improve or whatever. So I still want to do that. And so wise, it's just walking in my path of faith, walking in my path of being and doing the correct thing because it's the correct thing. Aligning with my assignment, moving in that direction, cutting and clearing cords of attachment, setting boundaries, loving on myself, taking time for myself, doing healing work, doing shadow work, doing soul work, helping others see the man in the mirror within themselves and helping others navigate that. So I feel very much accomplished in that area. Okay. And the last one, more spiritual connectedness, psychic. And with that, I meant like I wanted to have more intuitive messages. Like in 2021, I was really good with the tarot. I was really good with astrology and understanding what planets are connected to what zodiac sign, what sign is in what house, and so on and so forth. And, the numbers and orders of the houses. That was great, right? But I feel like in 2022, I got deeper into like, how does all of that mix and mingle? Like, how does all of that affect us? What does that energy mean? And not being gun ho on the outcome, as more so like, this is the energy surrounding the situation. These are your choices. This is how it could possibly happen if you apply your choices to these possible outcome. What is the best outcome with the choices that you have that would work in your favor? And it was more of that, more than trying to control the energy, more of a clarity of how to navigate situations, as well as Spirit be telling me things that I don't necessarily be asking for, but once I know it, I be knowing it. And my intuitive messages, my intuitive insights have been so real, where it's like deja vu, or so real where it's like people are reading my energy without them knowing me and without me telling them, because it's like the energy is so real. Or even like psychic, like I'll say something and it will happen, or I'll say something and someone says the same thing at the same time, like things like that, seeing confirmations. So 2021 was definitely good for that. Okay, so let me get a sip out of my tea. So let's get into the burning, shall we? I don't smoke like cigarettes, but I did have a lighter. I moved and some of my things are still in boxes, and I don't know where I put the lighter. And I had 2 of them. So now I have a box of matches, but I don't think it's going to stay lit for each and every one of these strips of paper. Can this light? Oh my goodness. Jeez Louise. I'm going to try to light my candle again and have that going so I can get some of the, not even some, each strip of the papers burned. So it's going to have to be my little mini, what would you call this? Campfire thing? Fire pit. So we are burning more YouTube Podbeam subscribers. So we're gonna burn that. I don't know if you can see. I want y'all to see. We gonna burn it, burn it, burn it, burn it, burn it, burn it, burn it. Yeah. Okay. So much burning. So much burning. um Healthier mind, body, and soul. We're only burning this because for 2022, I want to do better. Like I said, I want to firm this thing out. I want to get deeper into my whole, pole dancing. So I feel like for 2021, this goal has been met. But in 2022, I want to continue on that path. We're not burning because it's a bad thing, as opposed to we completed that and now we're going to the next level. This was level 1. Level 2 is mastering pole dancing, and that's what we're feeling to do in 2022. Burning, 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 yeah. I have this cup here. I should do that and not let it burn in my candle. This cup has water in it, so we're safe. Okay. Now we have more spiritual connections, psychic. So again, like I feel like I can always master myself, right? Like getting intuitive messages from your ancestors, from your spirit guides, from spirit, like that's never gonna end. But I feel like spirituality is kind of like illumination, especially if y'all have like dials or things of that nature where you can dial it up or dial it down. Think of it like a light. I feel like the more you practice, the more that you know, the more that you read, that light becomes brighter and brighter and brighter. And that's the way that I see my spirituality, and I see even my intuitive psychic abilities, not questioning it, but like confirming it. And that's the energy that I want to bring into 2022 even deeper, and have those psychic bonds with the people that I consider part of my soul tribe, a part of my family, a part of my destiny, a part of my path. And I want to be able to support them in ways that my psychic abilities, my healing abilities, my empathy abilities can, and vice versa. Them learning from me learning from them. This tangle of life, so to speak. So, when it burned it, burning, 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 yeah. I don't know why I keep saying that. It looks like this. So you can see, I want the camera to get it. I think you can. Some fire ritual. And you don't have to burn it all the way down. Like the paper doesn't have to be burnt all the way to the tippy top, because you don't want to burn your fingers or burn your nails. We don't want to cause any accidents. You just want to burn it as much as possible, but you don't have to burn it all the way through. And if you're feeling the heat, you're seeing the flame go up your hand, please drop it. Let's not create fires, as I should say, and I'm going to say it now. Have a cup of water. So like I drop what's about to end, the strip of paper, and we do that so we can prevent having fires, because that would not be good. We're burning Paint Your Truth, and I feel like with burning Paint Your Truth, I think with burning Paint Your Truth, it's just a different vision or a different avenue. It's kind of like all roads lead to Rome, and what's for you will never pass you by. I feel like with Paint Your Truth, um, I've gone as far as I can with it, and I want to see what it would look like in another light, so to speak. And I don't want to get too into it, but I will discuss it in a future video. So we're gonna burn that. Okay. Ooh. All right. All right, little firecracker. This is a few more soul tribe friends relationships. I'm burning this because honestly, I'm a earth sign, okay? I'm a fixed earth sign. I'm a Taurus. I'm good where I'm at. Like, if I like you, I like you. That's that on that. Like, I'm not the type of person who needs 50 million friends. I'm not the type of person who needs to be outwardly extroverted. I can be extroverted when need be, but I'm always going to need to fall back in my own hermit type of energy. Like, I'm gonna have to be on that solo dolo energy for a couple of days. That's just how I operate. I feel like with the soul tribe friends that I have made in 2022, 2021, ooh, jumping the gun already. In 2021, I like who they are. I like who I've met. And I feel like for 2022, I would like to grow those relationships and see how they unfold over time. But I don't know if I necessarily would want more friends, but I'm not opposed to it. If it's genuine, if it's on my path, if they're supposed to be a part of my soul tribe, then of course. But I'm looking more for authenticity, quality, and not quantity. Especially at my big grown age. Like, what do I look like trying to ride the wave of having, umpteen friends and followers and this, that, and the third? Woo! It's not for me. Okay. We have money, lots of it. Taurus and me, they burning this because that's the opposite. I'm burning this because of, like, I feel like money and employment and the expectation, or my own expectation that I put on myself to reach a certain goal, a certain benchmark, was not accomplished in 2021. And truth be told, it really is out of a lot of our hands. It's really because of the economy. It's really because of the job market. It's like things of that nature. It's really because a lot of people and their what would you call that? Expendable income or discretionary income has been jaded. And yes, because of 2021 and everything that has happened and influenced 2021. And I feel for me, in regards to this comment of more money and lots of it, that has been something that I have overcompensate per se, but the energy of, like, overvalued, especially for myself. And like I said, in 2021, like, for like most people, things wasn't perfect, but I had everything that I needed. And I want to remain in that energy of being grateful of what I have, and being in the energy of receiving more, but not being so controlling or gun ho about it, or like competing with someone in my mind that doesn't exist. Period. Right? It's that energy of let go, do your best, and know that spirit will always put you in a situation that will be better than your last. But you don't have to restrict yourself from enjoying the process of this thing called life. Period. So there's that. And we're gonna burn it. We're gonna burn, baby, burn. Burn, baby, burn. Can you see? I don't know how to angle this. I'm trying to angle it right so you see what I'm doing, but we don't cause any accidents. I'm telling you, the earth side in me is just like, be cautious, be cautious. It's who I am. Spiritual community growth. I feel like with this, I wouldn't mind doing like collaborations in regards to not necessarily full moon ritual videos, but just content in general, or even going into spaces that are welcoming towards this type of content, or even making content and growing that within this space. Not just self-care and wellness, and not just spirituality in a separate type of mindset of, like, again, that duality, up, down, south, north, yes, no. It could just all be one. It doesn't have to be so segregated. So even bringing people who are like, yo, I just came for the process painting, but like, I'm kind of interested in the tarot thing. I don't know much about it. I wasn't raised to believe in things like that, but I heard I'm a Leo. You have more information on that? It's like that type of energy where it's just like, you don't have to commit to anything. You don't have to change anything. You don't have to worship anything. Whatever benefits you, dare to be at that, dare to be that, dare to enjoy that, dare to explore that, dare to be involved in that, just dare to be, dare to exist, dare to live unapologetically. Okay. Ooh. That flame was ferocious. This is more confidence. I feel like my confidence A1. Like, honestly, like, my confidence can be seen as cocky or haughty. And again, with getting deeper into spirituality, I started looking up my zodiac sign in Chinese astrology, and I am a water monkey. And I looked up into that, and I found out like certain qualities of water monkeys actually does apply to me. And I was just like, wow. So it's things like that. Like, I discovered this month actually that in Vedic, I'm actually a Virgo sun, and I am a what? Pisces moon. I am a Virgo sun, not Pisces moon. I'm a Virgo sun and a huh. I'm a Virgo sun and something Virgo moon? No. No. Okay, sorry. Excuse me. I am an Aries sun. I'm an Aries sun and a Virgo moon in Vedic. So it's things like that. It's things like that, knowing that and understanding, like, I can see that. I can see that. It's things like that where it's just like cracking the code of you. Oftentimes we're looking for something outside of ourselves. God, give us meaning. What is the key to life? What should I be doing? Duh, 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 duh. And it's like, if you knew the grand scam, not scam, but like the grand scale of this thing, if you knew exactly what's to come in this thing called life, if you knew the journey by heart, would you be interested in taking on the journey? If you knew how the book ends, would you be interested in reading the novel? And it's one of those things where it's just like, you got to experience this thing. You just got to play the game and see how this thing ends. So I feel that heavy with this energy. More confident, feeling very much Queen of Wands energy. Okay, so you can see better. All right. And lastly, travel safely, healthfully. I said healthfully. Healthy and safely. Internationally. In 2022, I'm telling you, I have to travel internationally in 2022. Like, I have to. I have to. I've always wanted to see the Northern Lights, but I heard it's not as bright as you would assume. But you know what? I still want to go see it. And truth be told, I so cheesy, so cliche. I did see a BuzzFeed video about Alaska in the summertime, what it looks like. And Alaska in the summertime, depending on where you're at, you can see the sun set at 11 p.m. 11 p.m. You're supposed to be asleep. Okay, it's supposed to be dark. In Alaska, depending on where you're at, you can still see the sun and it's 11 p.m. Like, I just want to experience that mind effery. I just want to see my brain explode being in Alaska and it's 11 p.m. and the sun's still out and I'm just like, what is going on? I just want to experience that. If it happens, wow. But yeah, and I heard Alaska has really good meats. Woo. Alrighty. Can you see that? It's actually burning inside the water. Okay. So we burn. We burn it off. So we cleared out that energy for 2020. Just before we thought we was going to call it quits. There's one more. One more. Speaking my truth more often. You see, yes, it always be that the one that catches you by surprise that make you be like tear. Let's burn this too. Not because I fear speaking my truth or I think speaking my truth is bad or anything like that. We're gonna burn this because like I don't need a reminder to do so because I already do so. I already live in that energy unapologetically. So with this speaking my truth, it's more like even deeper into that. What does that look like, right? Especially as a Black woman, it does sometimes I wouldn't say I'm self-conscious about this, but sometimes as a Black woman, when you know where you at and you quote unquote act accordingly. This would be like, let's say you go somewhere where there's a certain type, let's say people, expectation, wardrobe, or whatever, and you're the only woman of color. Sometimes you feel like you have to overly represent, whether that means overly be quote unquote polite or overly, dressed to the nines or things of that nature. So I feel like with speaking my truth is like being so unapologetic. I said what I said, how I said it. And if you're offended, so be it. It's that type of energy. Like, it's the energy of like, if you think I'm this, then it is what it is, but I'm not going to spend any time trying to undo your own bias, because that's a you thing and not a me thing. And I just realized I didn't even ding the singing bowl. Remind me to ding the singing bowl when we close out this ceremony, because if I don't, I'm going to be very upset with myself. And when I say ding, I mean actually hit the bowl. I'm not going to share what I have in replacement of those 10 listed items. I'm going to keep it to myself. And I'm just going to see how the, life 2022 plays out, and we will be doing the same ritual that we did for this burning ritual. I will say what I still want to work on in 2022 on that list, of course, being more stable in my finances. So I guess you could say more money, but not being so like, I need to achieve this, I need to be here, I need to letting things be what it is, making the best choices, budgeting and things of that nature, as well as getting better in my skills, developing more skills, and so on and so forth. I still want to travel internationally, and I want to continue my spiritual journey, want to continue astrology and get deeper and deeper and be better and better, just an overall better person, period. So let's get into some messages for the collective. Now that I have spoken all I had to say, let me move this way. Okay. So this is actually my first tarot deck. That's why it looks so tattered. This is actually my first tarot deck. It was actually gifted to me. It has seen a lot of spillage. It has seen a lot of readings. It has been through a lot, but the gag is, it still holds up. It still holds up, and the gag is, even if I wanted to get rid of them because they aesthetically don't look like, let's say, the freshest and the newest deck, they mean so much to me just by what tarot has done for me personally, that I wouldn't get rid of them even if they literally fall apart, even if they crumbled apart, okay? I would still keep them just by, like, this is my first deck, and, like, this is how I got better at my craft and things of that nature. It's like one of those things where you still keep it from childhood, and it's really juvenile, it's dumb, it's probably tattered, it might even smell funky, but you still keep it because it has sentimental value. This is that. Sentimental value. Alrighty. We're going to do some shuffling. We're going to get an individual card for each house. So we're going to start with Aries and all the way through Pisces. We're going to get what is the energy starting off 2022 for each sign. And then we're going to pull out an Earth Magic card too for the sign that we're on, to get some messages about what's to come, what's to be expected, what are some lessons that are going to impact you in 2022 and how to better navigate that, and the pros, the cons, and all that jazz. Do one more shuffle. Okay. Spirit, please give us some insight in regards to Aries for 2022. What does Aries need to be mindful of? What are some of the themes that are going to show up for the beginning of 2022 for the Aries collective? Give us some insight. Give us the Aries group. I'm part of the Aries in Vedic. I was looking for one card, but you got two, or you got three, or you got four. You got a whole bunch. We're going to continue shuffling. Aries, that would be very Aries of you to be like, oh, you meant one card, let me get 6. Something in regards to the cardinal sign in you. Oh, you said 1, I said 6. Aries, very much Aries. So we have the 8 of Pentacles here. And with the 8 of Pentacles, you can see, hopefully you can see, that there is a man who's kind of like welding. He is working on his craft, mastering his craft, and he's doing it diligently. I feel like with this 8 of Pentacles, Aries, you're going to be focused more on work. Like I said, I asked for 1 card, you wanted 6. I feel like this energy of like a do. You gotta do. I don't know if it's because of bills. I don't know if you're worried about like what's the future has to come. Maybe you're a parent. Maybe you want to start your life. You want to start your family. You want to be more focused on being more dependable, being more grounded. You might be at a certain point in your life where you're like, I want to settle down. I want to have kids, but I want to get my money together. I want to be a real provider. It could be a situation, Aries, where it's just like you want to model yourself after your father, want to take the influences of your father and carry that on when it's your turn to be a father. Maybe you're expecting a child, or maybe thinking about having children. But I'm saying the energy of being responsible, being accountable, getting your shit together, you know, getting your credit together, getting your skill set together. I will say, don't be on that Knight of Wands energy where you're doing things too fast, or you're stacking all these expectations on your shoulders because you don't want to burn out. You don't want to bite more than you can chew. But I'm seeing with this particular energy, Aries, if you got your minds together, you got things in order, you are dotting your I's, crossing your T's, and you're very much mastering your craft, whatever that means, you'll be successful at it. I do see that. Oh, my candle burnt out. That's okay. Ooh. But yeah, Aries, I really feel like you getting your ish together, but I don't feel like ish is not together. It's more like refined. It's like, you know what, why should I play myself small when I can go for middle management? Like, you know, why should I, you know, continue doing things that are unhealthy when I could like get on a health routine? It's very much taking assessment on where you at in your life and taking accountability to want more and do more, you know? Discipline, feeling the energy of discipline, trying to be on your grown woman or grown man-ish. Focused, dedicated. But I'm really seeing the energy of like laying down the foundations for today so tomorrow could be better. Okay, Aries, I like that. Ooh. And the Aries that I am embedded like that too. All right, what is the Earth Magic message that you have for the collective, for the Aries collective? What do they need to know? What are some themes that are popping up in 2022 for the Aries collective? What should they know? You have Shaman. Ew. So with Shaman, you have Ancient Healing Wisdom. Ooh, I told you this is the energy of like getting into your grown-ish, right? This is the energy of Aries. If you don't know, you might have some like male ancestors on your side guiding you, whispering in your ear, giving you intuitive messages. Interestingly enough, people might not think Aries are intuitive, but they are. They're just intuitive in a different manner. Aries is very much carnal, very much fire, very much action. But it's like, why wait when now is of the essence? Like tomorrow is not promised, right? And I feel like with that Aries energy, they don't question that. Yes, they don't question that intuitive, like dog whistle, right? Like everybody else might be like, I don't know, I need more signs, I need more information, like that Aries energy is like, no, I smell the scent like a dog. I smell the scent. I gotta go. I gotta try it out. I gotta see how the novel ends. And it's that energy that's gonna help you know and decipher what's for you and what's not for you. But again, I've been getting the energy of like, don't be like the Knight of Wands doing things just to do things. Be calculating, be careful. But I'm seeing like you got this. If you're in balance, if you're in alignment with your assignment, you don't really gotta worry about like how things end and what you're doing and how you're doing it. If you're focused and you're grounded in your spirituality, in your workplace, in your personal development, whatever the case may be, even in your self-care, whatever it is, your artistry, whatever it is, you will find the success because you're doing it out of true bliss, true intent, as well as you're making the right decisions because it feels good. right? You're doing it because it's the correct things to do versus you're doing it because you're trying to do it for attention, or you're doing it because you're expecting something. So it's like that, I'm gonna do something if I get something in return, that transactional energy. I don't really see that for you. You could be doing spiritual work, you could be in therapy and healing occupations, but what I'm really seeing is just like you getting deeper into who you are, what you love, and like really working on that craft and getting into your real grown woman or man energy. There is man and shaman, you know? But I feel it's very much like you might even feel like it's cathartic, or you might feel like somehow good. Like, no shade, there's people who are like gym rats. They feel good sweating. They feel good when their muscles tense up. Like, yeah, I'm half dead, but like I got that workout in. You might be one of those people where it's just like, yeah, blood, sweat, and tears. Yeah. I feel like that's the energy. It's something to others might be like, oh, that just sounds, it feels so daunting. And you're like, no, I like doing 1,000 push-ups. That's great. And other people are like, oh, I guess. You're like, yeah, I don't guess, I know. It's that type of energy. Get on your roll, but don't, roll too fast. That's what I'm getting. All right, Taurus. Taurus that I are, my bow gang. What do you have for the Taurus collective spirit? Ancestors, spirit guides. What should Tauruses be mindful in the year 2022 or be aware of? What are some themes, some consistencies, some lessons, some love, whatever for the Taurus collective? Venus currently, well, not currently, like tomorrow, will be retrograde in Capricorn. I wonder how that's going to affect the Venus collective, Taurus and Libra, and even the Cap collective with Capricorn. See. One more shuffle. I did see that Three of Swords though. Is it a split? Is it a bad? Is it a bad split? Tongue tied. Is it a good split? Is it something like you're deceptive and I'm moving onward? Like, what's good? Taurus, we have Strength card for you. Ooh, Taurus. This is what I'm getting. The Three of Swords. You're splitting away from someone. It's like leaving people, places, or things. I feel like in 2022, that's really gonna be on some like shedding of skin, shedding of feathers. But when I say shedding, I feel the energy of like releasing things that no longer serve you. On the energy of like, you know how in business they'll be like, it's not personal, it's just business. I feel like with this particular energy, you're gonna tell people it's not personal. I just don't fuck with you. It's not personal. I just don't want to trauma bond with you. It's not personal. I just want a divorce. It's really that energy. It's like people might be trying to trauma bond with you, like, but. And you're like, no. I said, no. I said what I said. It's kind of like when you're dealing with a toddler. Terrible twos. They're like kicking and screaming, like, nope, time out. You have to set those boundaries, especially when it comes to the people who know you best or know what buttons to press and trigger. If you don't set those boundaries in 2022, when you have this abundance coming in, with this being, I don't know if you can see, but there is the infinity sign above this angel's head. There's a lot of blessings that are coming, and a lot of those blessings are kind of like the sun shining over your head. And that sun can be very illuminating, but it could also be very blinding. I feel with that blinding, you will be shining so bright. A lot of people might want to clip your crown, might want to take your information, want to sun you or bring you or humble you down or ride your wave, ride your energy, might want an energy harvest. I feel like with this sun energy that is the strength, this Leo type of energy, I feel like with this, to watch your head so someone doesn't try to snipe you, someone doesn't try to behead you, so to speak. You need to be able to see these people for what they are and who they are, the toxicity, the love, the whatever they are, see it for what it is and act accordingly. Not try to save anybody, not try to hold your tongue, not try to mince words. It is what it is. It's one of those situations I really feel for 2022, this energy of abundance. And it's very much so, if you don't recognize, if you don't walk with your alignment, it's very much the energy of when someone shows you who they are the first time, believe them. Do not see people on some like benefit of the doubt. If it looks like a duck, it quacks like a duck. it walks like a duck, it's a freaking duck. And Spirit wants you to know exactly what it is. I feel like with this Strength card, don't let people gaslight you, but also don't allow people to flatter you, right? Don't allow people to future fake that narcissistic attitude of lying all throughout the relationship. Yeah, I want to get married. Yeah, I want a kid. Yeah, da, da, da. And they don't mean nothing by it. They are just wasting your time and trying to energy harvest off of you. So I feel like with this Strength card is having the strength to walk away from people who make you feel guilty or people who try to take advantage. You might even have a lot of creative fun, a lot of like vavavoom, love, passion, travel, creativity. With this Strength card, maybe even having a kid or two, or being in an energy of people, places, and things that make you feel high vibe, high vibration, where it feels like you're on a roller coaster each and every day. Not because it's like dramatic, not because it's like chaotic or toxic, but it just feels like we're at Six Flags every day. We're at Disney World every day. We're at Orlando theaters or whatever else amusement park. And it's just fun. We're eating freaking cotton candy. We're eating ice cream. We don't have to stand in line. Like everything is everything. It's just on the energy of that childlike passion, that energy of carefree. And that's very good for you, Tauruses. Taurians. I should say Taurian, but I don't like that. I like Tauruses. So I say Tauruses. Yeah, I feel like your ancestors are very much heavy. You may not see them, but whenever you're looking for confirmations, they come through to let you know that they're here for you. A lot of rebirth energy. Maybe you had a lot of disappointments this year, but I'm seeing 2022 is very much going to balance that out. If you didn't have things happen this year, 2022 is going to close out that chapter. The residues of this year is not going to establish itself next year if you do the work and continue upholding those boundaries, as well as things didn't progress this year. They were stagnant or they didn't happen the way that you thought they would. I feel like in 2022, they definitely will come through. We have Shapeshifter. We also had Wolf that popped up, but it didn't, you know, actually flip over. I just saw a partial of it. So Wolf Instinct. That might be something that might be carrying you on, just like with the Aries. Follow your intuition, that shaman energy. Follow your God-given sense. What makes sense will be sensible, but also sometimes things don't make sense, but you see it, right? The High Priestess sees things that other people don't see. The High Priestess knows things that she doesn't speak intuitively. Like a woman will always know when another woman is pregnant, even if that woman herself doesn't know, because she's been there, she's done that, she's a mother. It's like she can sense it on you, right? It's that type of energy I'm seeing with the collective on that high vibe. We have clouds here, shape shifting. I feel like with shapeshifting has a bad connotation. People look at it like you're deceptive or you're reptilian if you're a mad hat. And I feel like with clouds and shapeshifting, it's not that. Have you ever stopped and look at clouds, how they move, how they take shape? Like different days, you have different type of clouds. And because of global warming, I gotta put it out there, there are actual clouds that literally rain and spew lightning because of how chaotic this earth is because of global warming. But just in general, clouds shape and shift all the time. Like when it becomes fuller and darker and grayer, you know, oh shoot, it's about to rain or snow. Like I woke up this morning and I was feeling the energy of like it's gonna snow. Then I looked outside the window, it's like, oh, it looks like it's gonna snow. Then I opened my phone and I opened up the weather app, and guess what? It was gonna snow. Then I look out throughout the day and I was like, oh, I thought it was gonna start earlier. And then around 1, it started to snow. It's raining and wet out. It's not necessarily snow, but point given, it still happened. So it's like sometimes it's like you gotta sniff it in the air. Sometimes it's not something that's said, but it's kind of like implicated. What is understood don't need to be explained. If you know somebody's crappy, you don't need that crappy person to be like, oh, by the way, I'm crappy. We know. We know. So it's that energy of like when you know you do better, when you know you act accordingly. And I feel like with this cloud shape-shifting energy, act accordingly. But it's also like present in your best self. Sometimes it's about that stealthy energy. Sometimes you can't be, I'm going to say this and I want to say this because I don't want it to be contrary to what I said about that Gemini energy. Sometimes you have to, in this thing called life, adjust and be adaptable to different situations so you can succeed in those situations. That doesn't mean that you start being fake. That doesn't mean that you start saying yes to things that you don't authentically believe in. That doesn't mean that you sell your soul. What that means is every place got its certain expectations in regards to you can't act the way that you want to act, whenever you want to act, wherever you're at. For example, when you go to any type of religious ceremonial space, whether it's church, temple, mosque, the expectation is that you are dressing in a certain fashion. Now, when you take your church clothes to church, we know what that means. But you don't take your church clothes to the playground, because the playground, that's your any type of clothes. But your church clothes, that's something different. That's what you wear when you're trying to look good, when you're trying to dress to the nines. It's that type of energy. It's like knowing how to move, when to move, at the right time to move. It's like being calculating, but not in a sense of deceptive, foxy, sly. It's more like being adaptable to the situations. And it also makes you look like a type of person who can handle any situation. It makes people trust in you, that you're not a one-trick pony, that you can talk to anybody. You can see things from different perspectives, that you can meet in the middle, Let's move on to Gemini. Because I felt like I talked a lot already. Gemini, it's your time to shine. What does 2022 have for the Gemini collective? What's to come? What's to come? What's to come? What are some messages for the Geminis? What are some constant themes that will be happening in the year 2022, starting out 2022? What are some advice, some lessons, some gems, some insights, some even blessings? I don't know, I'm hearing blessings as well. Gemini, what's going on? What kind of light that you got going? I'm feeling the energy of luck. Wish upon a star, wish granted. Like hopefulness. I don't know the lyrics of the song, but I'm hearing, when you wish upon a star, something, where you are. Dun, 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 dun. And I don't remember the rest. But it's that type of energy. It's very whimsical. It's very much like the Nutcracker. And interestingly enough, I did go to the Nutcracker last weekend with my friends, and I am going to do a video on that when I recap process painting for the year. So stay tuned for that. So Gemini, what is some whimsical Nutcracker type of energy going on for you? I'm so sorry, Gemini. I got caught up. I forgot, like, this is being recorded. I was just all in my head. I was just like, bringing it back. You got the Two of Wands. Okay, Gemini. Where you going? Are you going places to go, people to see? Give me very much song of music. I feel like with this energy, it's taking a leap of faith on you, right? I feel like very much Fool card, Aries, Aquarius energy. But with this Two of Wands, I feel like picking a side and standing on it. Not out of, like, again, that duopoly, that either or, but it's the energy of, like, what feels right, what is authentic for you. It's like looking at all the possible options, all the possible outcomes, and being like, this is the one I want. And being confirmed in it. And being open to all the possibilities that is and that is not. But, like, you have to start somewhere. And I feel like the energy is, like, now. The energy is now. And feeling the ability to be able to take it on. It's like a new beginning, but you still feel like this is what's best. It's kind of like, do I go to state school or do I go, like, to school out of state? It's that type of energy. It's like, I gotta make a decision, and I gotta make the decision that's best for me. And stand on it. Regardless of what anybody thinks, I gotta stand on it because it's about my principles. It's very much standing against the grain, standing against the crowd, and being like, even if y'all don't rock with it, it makes sense to me and I gotta do it. Okay, what's going on for the Gemini collective starting off 2022? What does the Gemini collective need to know? What's going on? What are some themes? What are some messages for the Gemini collective under this Gemini full moon? We have stone people here. Vigilance. Be aware. Interestingly enough, you see the background, they're open, they're like on top of like some type of deck, and you see like there's an open window or open like space here, and you see the same thing with vigilance and people. It's the energy of being free unapologetically, the energy of literally like a kid running through the fields with their hand wide or their arms wide open like an airplane. It's that energy of like, I'm zooming, I'm experiencing, I'm living, I'm imagining, I'm being, I'm doing, and I don't care because I love it. I sincerely love it. I don't care. And with the stone people of vigilance here, I feel like, yes, Gemini, you're very known for doing what the hell you want to do, right? But it's also be careful, because while you out here doing what you want to do, there's people watching you. And not out of like, oh, be scared and adapt who you are to catch their gaze, but very much the energy of like, you don't know who's watching and trying to take advantage. Like, right? Like, it's one of those energies where I see like a woman, she broke up with her boyfriend and she's crying, and then she has that quote unquote friend in the friend zone, and now he's, you know, wrapping his shoulder around the friend and telling her that she's pretty and she don't need the ex, and he would never do that if they were dating. And next thing you know, he's trying to finesse her out of some pennies. It's giving me that type of energy. Sometimes people in your face, because they see things are happening for you, things are moving for you, and they want to ride your way, they want to take advantage, they seeing how you move and they trying to calculate their blessings, their fortune off of what you doing and how you moving. And I feel like with stone people of vigilance, it's like you gotta watch your back, not out of like scariness, but out of like, you gotta be your protector too. You just can't advocate for yourself. You also have to protect yourself. You gotta protect your neck, protect your back, protect your six. And I feel like with this energy, it's like, yeah, be carefree, but don't leave your brain behind. Don't be a dummy. I feel like with this energy, right? As you watching and you moving and you grooving, other people are watching you and they want to groove with you, right? So I'm feeling that energy. Sometimes you gotta sit and reanalyze your circle. Look around and see who has valuable not just insight, but valuableness to this thing called friendship, this thing called family, this thing called business. Like, is this still working for us, or are we just doing it out of habit? And if out of habit, how are you slowing me down? Because you're either an asset or a deficit. So which one are you? Or which one are they to you, Gemini? But we're moving on to Cancers. Cancers. Feeling this very sweet energy. Like you're sweet on yourself or somebody's sweet on you. Someone flirting with you? You dating? Leave mind my business though. What's going on, Cancers? I'm feeling dimples. I'm seeing dimples. Very cute, very supple energy. Feminine. Very feminine energy. Low-key seductive, but more like flirtatious. Like you looking good, smelling good, feeling good. And you know you good. That's a nice energy. I like that energy. It smells like soft roses. Very much like the perfume Chloe. I call that scent like adult baby scent. Like the Johnson & Johnson baby powder. Hopefully it doesn't have zinc anymore. Or talcum. Whatever it was that caused cancer. Hopefully it doesn't have that anymore, especially since a lot of people use it on their baby, especially their bottom. We don't want babies having cancers. But I see energy of very, very sweet, very rosy, very feminine, very pretty, very dainty, very soft, very supple. What's going on, Cancers? I like that energy. What's going on for Cancers in 2022? Someone having a baby, someone getting married. This Cancer is the mother of the astrology. So is someone turning into a mother, wanting a mother, dealing with a mother? We have the Ten of Wands. Interestingly enough, caught me off guard. Ten of Wands here. Maybe you're done with the burdens of motherhood. Meaning, like, let's say you didn't have such a great experience with your mother. It's kind of like you're realizing that you don't want to carry on that energy onto your kids. You don't want to be the mother that you had to your kids. You're realizing maybe generational cycles. Maybe you've ended some and now you're like, okay, I'm on to the next. I'm going to be the better version of me. I'm going to be a better woman. I'm going to be a better mother. I also feel like with this Ten of Wands, I feel like you're realizing the burdens, maybe the burdens of motherhood, especially in regards to childcare, because childcare is very expensive. Like the child tax credit is about to end this year. There's not much in regards to supporting parents who need that care, as well as a lot of care workers who are oftentimes women are overworked and underpaid. So I'm seeing with this particular energy, maybe Cancers, you got to realize what's working and what's not working, and how you can end up straightening up that back so you don't end up hunchback with this Ten of Wands, because there's something that feels like a heavy burden, something that you got to put down. Maybe you feel tasked to do this heavy burden. You feel like this is something on your shoulders that you're having to do or being forced to do. This is not of you, Cancer. What's going on? Maybe like home feels so like stifled, and it's like, okay, if the work energy or the home energy feels uneven, feels taxing, feels draining, what are the ways that you can get out of that energy? What are the ways that you can mitigate those energies? What are the ways that you can spread the work, the labor, the emotional labor or physical labor of upkeep? How can you spread that evenly so you don't feel so heavy? Let's get a card for the Cancer collective. What's going on with my Cancers? But as you can see with the 10 could be an ending or a new beginning. Do you want to continue? It could be a completion or a new beginning. That's what I meant. Ending of a cycle, new beginning. You can continue carrying on this Ten of Wands until you get Hunchback of Notre Dame, or you could release the Ten of Wands or spread them evenly where you don't feel like it's all on your own shoulders. So it's very much, do you want to be burdened by something or you want to release it? You know? We have the card Solar Solstice Radiance. Okay, this is the energy I was feeling for you, Cancers. I was like, what happened? The Ten of Wands came out and I didn't even want, like, what happened? Yeah. Okay, Cancers. Yeah. And Cancers are summer babies, huh? I feel like Cancers, honestly, you're gonna really start shining in your summer season. You're really gonna peak, very much so, like on either on your grown woman shit or very much like glow up shit, Cancers. But I feel like with this, you gotta realize that you are the sun of your life. You gotta realize that you are the center point in your life. Maybe in the past you felt like your job was to help other people, your job was to do for other people. Maybe you were tasked with that emotional labor, that physical labor. People thought you always had it, or like you were so secure, so there was always putting shit on your shoulders. Maybe you had to be the strong friend. Maybe you had to always have your finances together. Maybe you had to always give the best advice. But I feel like with this particular energy, you're tired of that ish. You're tired of dealing with that unrequited love, and you're leaving that behind. I feel like with the Sun card, it's very much getting in touch with your own divinity, your own femininity, your own self-care, your own wellness, and being unapologetically you. I feel like maybe you dimmed your light before. Maybe you felt like you could be only the Robin to somebody else's Batman, or the bridesmaid for the bride, but you're realizing that no, you too can be the star of your own show. Like you can be, the creme de la creme. Like you don't have to be on the sidelines, that you can shine bright, and you deserve to shine bright as well. I feel like for the summertime though, you really might have to juggle in regards to the responsibilities, especially if you are a mother or you do care work. But I feel like for the overall energy, it's very much like, you know, new phone, who this? Like it's very much like hot girl summer, very much like I own this, I am who I am, like I am that bitch, I'm shining, like it is what it is, like I love myself and I'm not going to undermine or undercut myself. Very much like not arrogant or egotistical, but like I deserve the love that I give. I deserve to be honored. I deserve to be respected. I deserve to be cherished. I deserve to get my flowers. Very much so. Let's move on to Leo. Might fall in love or meet a Leo as well in 2022. Might have a baby with a Leo. Might have a Leo baby. But I feel like it's very much stepping into your masculine energy with that sun card, but it doesn't have to be aggressive, it doesn't have to be angry, it doesn't have to be bitter. You can be in your masculine energy as a feminine being, but address it differently. Again, I am a Taurus sun and a Libra moon in Western astrology, but in Vedic, I am an Aries sun and a Virgo moon. So Aries is very masculine, very much like her, especially when the tarot is the Emperor. And in and the counterpart to the Emperor is the Empress, which is ruled by Venus, which is associated with Taurus. So it's having that yin yang energy. You don't have to show your boundaries or your masculine energy in a this is Spartical. It doesn't have to be that. It's just your own way. It could be nice, nasty, because that's a form of like masculine energy that comes out of women. But it could also be very direct and very loving. I love you right now, but I need me time. I cannot be my best for you if I am not first my best for me. Period. Got to the point, quick, short, to the point, sweet, and everything. And you set boundaries, and it didn't have to be on some like, let me, take your head off. What's going on for the Leo collective? What are some messages for the Leos? What's going on? Certain themes, certain insights. I'm feeling very warm, very sun energy. Maybe because I just saw the sun within the solar solstice, but I'm feeling the energy of like, let's see. We have the World card. Y'all have 3 cards too. So Leo. So y'all just gonna do that? You fire signs is just like F the one card. I need multiples. Since my eyes was closed when I was shuffling, I just have to take all of these. So I don't know which came out first or whatever. But this is what we got, Leo. Y'all want a story, you want a novel. I'm gonna give you that. So my Leo babies. With Leo, we have the World card here, which is Capricorn energy. We have the Hierophant here, which is Taurus energy. We have the Tower here, which is Scorpionic energy. So we have Cardinal, Fixed. We have Earth, Fire. Or, yeah, Fire, Water. This is very much Scorpio, Mars energy here. So what I'm seeing with this particular energy, this could be, for my Leos, something that catches you by surprise, but like you needed it. Like it's one of those energies where it's just like, I just came for eggs and I found the love of my life. Like I just thought this was gonna be a vacation and I found my like life path. Like I thought this was just going to be another dumb book, but like I actually found like my spiritual like awakening. It's that type of energy that I'm seeing. 21 reduced gives you 3, 5 and 3 gives you 8, and then 16 gives you 7. So 8 and 7 gives you 15. 15 in tarot, which is ironically another Capricorn card, the Devil card. So with the Devil card, I always look at it. You can get the Devil card with Capricorn, or you can get the World card. It depends on you. It depends on your karma. It depends on what you do. Even with number 15, reduce, 15 gives you 6. 6 is the Lover's card. I can go on and on with this, but it's very much of your karma, Leo. I feel this is the energy of what you put in is what you get out. I feel like with the Tower, you can't avoid a Tower moment. Like when it comes, it comes. But I feel like you can better navigate it if you prepare yourself for it. It's kind of like preparing for the unprepared, or prepare for the surprise or something like that, however the saying goes. But it's very much the energy of like, if you stay ready, you don't got to get ready, that type of energy. And it's also like, I feel the energy of like people are watching, things are happening. You want to model better, especially if you have children, especially if you're married. Like you might think no one's watching, but like people are watching. You might think you can get away with something, but you might be undercutting yourself. You might enjoy it for the night, but then you have to like go home and like explain to your wife like why you decided to cheat on her. It's that type of energy. It's like you think you slick, but you're not that slick. I feel like with this particular energy, there might be an energy of temptation, coming up for 2022, especially when it comes to people who are close to you. So this could be like you're in lust with your secretary type of energy, but you're married. It's that type of energy. But I feel like you're very honest about what it is and how it makes you feel, and resolving that. You can have a little tower moment where it's like, maybe the attraction for my secretary is because I don't know, she's extra flirtatious and fun and lively and youthful. And it's not really her as opposed to her energy. Perhaps if you worked on your marriage with your wife, you can regain that sense of love, that sense of intimacy, that sense of security where she can be fun and lively and youthful, where you're attracted to her and not your secretary, because it was never the secretary. It was that emotional, I guess you can say, spark that she gave. It's one of those type of energy that I'm feeling from the Leo collective. I don't know. I give y'all a whole story because you wanted a story, so I'm giving you that story. This could be a warning, but it could also be a, I guess you can say, a youthful gem, a gem. And I feel like with this particular energy, it's what you make of it. Isn't that karma? Isn't that life in general? But I feel like be careful of your decisions. Be careful of your choices, because it could come back to bite you in the ass, especially with the Tower card. But I do feel like it's very new, it's very prosperous, it's very grounding. Two earth signs here, one of them being the Capricorn energy with the World card, the other with the Hierophant, the Tarot card. Is something that's very deep, very solid, very dependable energy here. Okay. Let's see, what are some messages for the Leo collective? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on for the Leo collective spirit? Give us some insight for the Leos. What do the Leos need to know? We have purification here. Ooh, rain purification. And it's raining now. Let me take a sip from my tea. This is actually a peach flavored tea, and it's so freaking divine. It's from Tivana. Why do I feel like my throat is not like stuffy, but like, it's kind of like when you have a cold and you're like the last day or second to last day of your cold, where it's like your body is almost there, but you kind of feel like it's a little wonky. Your throat is still a little, congested, but it's not really like full blown mucus, full blown like out of service. I don't know, but that's why I'm feeling it right now. Maybe there's a draft in your room. Maybe you feel a little something in your chest. Maybe you need to warm your tea, like my tea turned cold. Something of that sort. But with this rain purification, what I'm seeing is that something of clarity is coming to you. And I feel like you might figure out that it's a you thing, but it's the way that you see things. It's the way that you approach things with this rain purification. Once it rains, it clears out the energy. It clears out even what's on the floor or the road. It gives trees and bushes and vegetation water that it needs, the nutrients that it needs to continue to grow. So I feel like with this purification, especially since it's like the trees, the forest, and then we see that fogginess, that haze surrounding the trees, I feel like some type of clarity is coming in with this rain. This rain is purifying this energy. And I feel like with this is like a test of like loyalty, like a test of like who you are when people aren't watching. Like, will you allow like your triggers or your lust or your shadow energy to pull you outside of your character to do something that's not of you? Or will you allow this lesson, will you allow this situation to trigger something within you so you can reflect on that, so you can make the changes where you see fit and be and do better? I'm feeling with this particular energy, I feel like there's a test of like morality, a test of like who you are, what you do behind closed doors. And after saying all of that, now my throat wants to clear up. Yeah, so I'm taking that as a confirmation. Yeah. We're moving on to Virgos though. My Vedic sisters. Interestingly enough, Virgos, besides known for work and health and routine and whatnot, they're also known as the virgin sign. So maybe something about virginity, sexual health, maybe something about vulnerability, being naked, maybe body issues, self-esteem, something like that, Virgo. Maybe getting deeper into your femininity, maybe even discovering that you might be playing on the lesbianist team. What's going on with my Virgos? I almost forgot y'all's name. Sheesh. Saw that flip over. That was the Page of Pentacles in reverse. So some type of delay, something's not happening. What's going on? What's going on for my Virgo collective for 2022? What are some themes that are going to show up, that's going to pop up? What should Virgos be aware of? What should Virgos know and practice? Oh, sheesh. Dang, money. I was also going to say, Virgos are also known as hard workers and they about their bread. But with the Page of Pentacles coming out in reverse, maybe that should have been seen as a foreshadow. With the Six of Pentacles in reverse and the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, I feel like with them being in reverse, there's some type of delay here. This could be a job offer. This could be a promotion. This could even be starting a business, but there's some type of delay here. And it's kind of like a shocker to you. Maybe you had an expectation for a job, or you had an expectation for some type of money or some type of consistency, some type of, let's say, another stream of income. But due to life, due to the, let's say, supply chain network, due to COVID, due to inflation, due to whatever, there was some type of delay. And I feel like with these both being Earth cards, in particular, when I was shuffling, the Page of Pentacles flipped out in reverse. I feel like this particular energy was just like you had a lot of hopes and expectations and desires for 2021 that didn't necessarily execute or manifest in the way that you want to, and you might have this like despondent energy, or this energy of like, not necessarily like all is lost, but that energy of like like melancholy, or like sigh, or just like uh, like I you know the energy, like I'm not feeling it. It's like you don't want to throw yourself a pity party, but you're not really that excited or happy either. And you might be in your hermit energy, like going back and pulling back into self. And hermit card number 9 is representation of that Virgo energy. So you might be in isolation, you might be in hermit mode, you might be like underneath your covers watching like Hallmark movies. Like you just like doing you solo dolo, not really saying much, not really doing much, but really focus on what makes you elated. But I feel like with the Six of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles, I feel like with the Six of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, not all is lost. I just feel like it's delayed. I feel like honestly, since COVID, life has been delayed. I feel like everybody's expectations, desires, this and the third has been delayed. This desire or this notion of going back to normal, or this new normal, has to be accepted. This is a new normal. This is a new cycle. It's kind of like the World card. Like this is something totally different, and we have to adapt to it. And I feel like this might be a lesson of adaptability, a lesson in how we value money, how we see money, or attachment to money, and working on that patience, But also with the virgin aspect, I don't know why I said that. I feel like with that, don't sell yourself short, in a sense of like, don't allow your mind to over worry about things that don't exist. Like, don't like, oh my God, like I have a bill due on the 31st and and little did you know, you had some surprise income, some surprise money that came on the 28th, and you were stressing from now all the way through the 20th, when you really could have just let go, let God, and believe. If you believe, spirit would never put you in a situation where you'd be asked out, where you'd be fucked up. Believe in that and stand on that, especially when it's times like this where you don't see the pathway, where things are foggy, like the card we just had that now I'm suddenly forgot. The card I just had with the fogginess. But it's kind of like that type of energy. Rainforest purification, right? It's the energy of like seeing past the fog, having faith that spirit would never put you in a situation where you'd be asked out, never put you in a situation where you would have to sell yourself, sell your soul, sell your morality, do things that's against your own personal code. Knowing that if there's a will, there's always a way. Knowing that there are alternative options and ways of seeing things, you know? Because it's giving me very much tower moment with this 6 and 10. Maybe it's a shocker to you that things have been delayed, or maybe what you were hoping for didn't manifest and you were shocked about it, thinking that it would have. Could also be an opportunity of like, what's meant for you will never pass you by, with the 6 of Pentacles in reverse and the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Where it's like, it might not be now, but starting 2022, here it goes. Or a better deal. Or the same deal comes back around. You never know. It's the mystery of life. Let's see what is the Earth Magic Oracle card for the Virgo Collective. What are some themes happening in 2022 for the Virgo Collective? What do they need to be aware of? What should they apply to this new chapter? What should they be mindful about? What are some lessons, opportunities? Gaia, nurturing. Oh, so this is mirth. Earth, Mother Gaia. I guess I combine Earth and Mother together with mirth. Gaia, nurturing. I feel like with this particular energy, as you can see, Gaia is watching. I don't know if you can see, but hopefully you can. She is like watching over the land, right? It's kind of like a cloud. She's up in the clouds, and as she is moving, she is taking into account of what is Earth, what part of Earth needs more tender loving care. Probably places like the Midwest that was hit with the tornadoes, probably places that have been damaged by a climate change and the lack of respecting Earth, right? Polluted waters, blowing up mountains for coal and things of that nature, right? And I feel like with Gaia nurturing for my Virgo collective is very much taking into account the things that you can control and giving that tender loving care. It's one of those situations where it's like, when you don't focus on it, here it goes. It's one of those situations where it's like a watch pot doesn't boil. As you are taking care of the things that matter to you, as you are loving the parts of you that needs that TLC, as you are restoring the parts of you that you have neglected, as you are going and being in your authenticity, being in your care, being in your love, radiating in that authenticity, that version, that unbearing of, you know, your clothes, but also like your insecurities, like shedding that, you find people who are equally on the same vibration, on the same frequency, and you come together. It's very much of a communal energy. But I feel like, let yourself shine in the areas that you know that you have mastered, as well as places within you in your own journey. Give more effort into that. If it's your mental health, how do you nurture that? Is it, if it's your physical health, maybe you have an ailment, maybe you have a tender sore spot, how do you mend that, right? Maybe it is like, I want to have, like, let's say a community garden. Like, how do you go about that? It's very much the energy of seeing, creating the change in the world that you see fit. Instead of just talking about how there's so much trash on the streets, there's so much trash on the streets, why don't you pick up the trash? Why don't you have like a recycling campaign in your city? It's one of those situations. It's like, get up, get out, and do something. You can sit on the energy of like, things aren't going my way, or you can see things from a different perspective, right? And as you're seeing things from a different perspective, as you are nurturing, as you are loving, as you are being radically in that energy of love, here goes life manifesting and rewriting the script in your favor. All right. Whew. Let's move on to Libras. My moon sisters and brethrens. I feel like I've been saying a lot sisters and not saying much brethren. This is not a gender specific, sex specific reading. So let me not be so one-sided. All right. Libras. What's going on with my Libra collectives? What are some messages that Libras need to know? about 2022. What's to come? What's going on? What's going on in my Marvin Gaye voice? Maybe there's something that feels unjust to you and you want to like make that your crusade, make that your cause, make that more publicly aware and get like some action behind that. Very much justice card, very much a Libra of you. See what's going on for the Libra collectives. What are some messages that the Libras need to know for 2022? What are some themes? What are some insights that will be occurring, especially in the beginning of the year for the Libra collectives? Let us see. Fellow air signs with the Gemini eyes. I'm never not going to say that, so like just get used to me saying that until I either forget saying that or I'm tired of saying that. I'm telling you, the way that my Libra moon is set up, it's really either or. It's either like I'm full in or it's like, nah, I'm all set. Too many cards. What's going on, Libras? You want a story too? Cardinal sign, that is you. Did y'all see that? Did y'all see that flip over? Wow, Libras, y'all are mad bold. Pulling up in your readings just like that. Just didn't even fall over. Like it flipped right on top of my thumb. Like you called, you rang. Okay, Libras, make an interest in your own reading. Libras, the cardinal sign that you are, right next to Capricorn, right next to Aries, right next to Cancers. My Libras, this might be an energy of you having to get up, get out, and speak something. You might have to do something, say something, cut this shit, like reveal something, and it may not be what people wanted to hear, what people expected to hear, but you had to say it for what it is. You might have some type of like combative energy or an energy of someone who's immature or someone who is just young or just young-minded, young acting, but it's the energy of like truth bombs. I'm feeling the energy of like you saying it for what it is, and not even in a mean way, but like in a way of like, it hurts you, it hurts me more than it hurts you. It's one of those energies where it's like, if I don't cut the cord, if I don't call it for what it is, if I don't stand on my square, like this ain't gonna be it. This ain't gonna get better. Like I'm just coddling at this point. It's kind of like tough love. I'm feeling the energy of tough love, but I don't feel like it's for you as opposed to like you're delivering it to people, especially people who have been leaning on you, who have been mooching on you, who have been maybe even energy harvesting off of you or expecting you to do this and the third, very much dependent on you. And I feel like you're cutting that off. And it's not even because like being mean or anything. It's more so like you can't play that role anymore. It's more so like you're over that. It's more so like you can't entertain that. It no longer speaks, it no longer resonates to you. It might feel icky. It might feel like, oh my God, I've had this conversation with you for the 10 trillionth time. It's like you just cannot continue repeating the same cycles, the same conversations, the same blase, because you've been there, you've done that, and you're moving on. I'm feeling that energy, Libras. Let's see what's in the cards for you for the beginning of 2022. Okay, Flipper. We got music. People are world today. I'm looking for a better way of life. We are a part of the Rhythm Nation. Okay, Janet. Janet is a Taurus. Not a Libra, but we share Venus. Anywho, you got music and harmony. That's the point. You might be blocking someone out by like playing music, especially if you live with someone who may be like a hard roommate or someone that you really don't like being around. So you might play music loud, or you might have like earbuds or whatever to like entertain you or distract you from engaging with a particular person. But I feel like music, there's some type of like peace in that. There's some type of like clarity to that. Maybe music is one of your like love languages, or music is the way that you decompress, or you feel like there's some type of spiritual connection. Maybe you do your rituals with music. The singing bowl, I remembered. Maybe you play a musical instrument or want to play a musical instrument, or you do certain, like, let's say, dance ceremonies or things of that nature. But what I see with this music and harmony, you want harmony in your life. You want balance in your life. You want to live in the energy of the music that you listen to, the music that makes you feel high vibe. And with this particular energy, I feel like you're moving towards harmony in general, not just in music, but with your emotions. Music has a way of evoking emotions. Music has a way of connecting us. You don't have to know the language. You don't have to know what is being said, but the music, it can, trigger emotions. It can evoke emotions. It can bring people together. It can be festive. It could be rowdy. It could be swag surf. It's just the energy, right? The music, the tempo, the frequency. And I feel like with that, you're looking for that energy signature in everything that you do. Not just in music, but within relationships, within people, within career, within yourself. You just want to be in harmony. You want to be in zen. And I feel like with this particular energy, if it's not the energy of your favorite song, your favorite genre, your favorite whatever, you're just not there. And I feel like with part of this music, it might help you study, it might help you focus, it might pump you up. It might be like your motivation music, kind of like when people, again, gym rat uh example, they might listen to heavy metal, or they might listen to trap rap or whatever that motivates them to really put in that work in the gym. I feel like that's the type of energy, whatever the energy for you, not necessarily that particular gym rat energy, but whatever energy that makes you feel happy when you listen to your favorite song. You're looking for that energy signature all through 2022, which is very Libra of you, since like it's very much six, it's very much balanced, it's very much fair, it's very much lovers energy. So I'm not surprised Libra came up with that particular energy for them in 2022. But let us move on to Scorpions. What's going on with the Scorpio collective for 2022? What's to come? What are some insights? What are some things that Scorpios need to be aware of? We're at a little bit over the 2 hour mark. Okay. But Scorpio, 8th house. We're going to try to close up this reading before we hit the 3 hour mark. What's going on with my Scorpio collective? What do Scorpios need to what do my Scorpios need to know for 2022? Let me see something real quick. Okay. Boom. One more shuffle for my Scorpios. Alright, Scorpios, what's going on? I'm a Taurus in the 8th house. Whenever I feel like I'm being overly emotional, I'll be like, oh, it's my stupid Scorpio feelings. No shit. And I'll be like, you know what? That's just the Taurus in me not really wanting to get emotional. And feelings are not stupid. But I am a Taurus in the 8th house, especially when I get into the shadow, especially when I really be on some like captastic energy. You can really see the 8th house pop out. But nonetheless, we have the star card in reverse. 17 reduced gets us 8. With the star card in reverse, you might feel like you're losing hope in something, Scorpio. You might feel like love is lost or something is lost. You might feel dejected. You might feel like you've watered all you could water. You cared all you cared. You've given all you can give, and things have not manifested in the way that you've thought. But I'm feeling like it's one of those energies, again, like, don't be too sure. It's the energy of like, like, little did you know, while you least expected it. I'm feeling that energy. You might feel like, again, you've did everything. You dotted your I's, you crossed your T's, you went to the right schools, you made the right friends, like you did everything, but still here you are. Things are not blossoming the way that you wanted to. You might be in the energy of like bloomer, doomer, zoomer, boomer type of energy, where it's just like you feel life is not worth living. So that's like doomer. Boomer would be like the boomers, the 1960s folks who tell you like, in my day, blah, 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 cost blah, blah, blah money. Or you could be a Zoomer, which is like Gen X, right? So no, Gen Z. So they're very much like born with a cell phone in their face. And then you could also be a bloomer, where it's just like life after the doomer, life after like life is not great, life sucks, went through, like, let's say the dark night of the soul, worked on your spirituality, your personal development, love on yourself, care for yourself, set boundaries. It's all of that. And restarting your life in a different way, seeing your life in a different vision, a different perspective, because life is perspective, right? Perception is reality. So I feel like this might be a situation where you need to be more adaptable on that Gemini type of energy. This is also Aquarius energy too for my Scorpio. So you might have a Aquarius that you're dealing with. You might be an Aquarius, or not might be Aquarius, but you might have Aquarius placements. That's what I meant, Scorpio. You might be dealing with an Aquarius in 2022. But I feel like with this particular energy, it's kind of like, let's see what Earth Magic card comes out for the Scorpio collective. Some insights for what's to come in the beginning of 2022. Lynn said, I think you're the first to have 2 Earth Magic cards. But I was like, little did you know. And we got spring equinox rebirth on that Mother Gaia energy. And we have new moon promise. Okay, Scorpio? Just as you was about to give up, and just as you was about to be like, yeah, I'm gonna charge to the game, like this ain't even it. Look at you. You got spring equinox. Something might really be popping up for you in the spring. In particular, this could be a romantic relationship. This could be maybe starting a family. This could be moving. This could be actually starting that community garden that I advise for who? Libra? Some other sign before you. But the point is, it's the energy of like, there's a newness. It's just delayed energy. Honestly, I'm feeling that for everybody in the collective. It's just energy of like all the hopefulness that was 2021 that didn't manifest, or it started but it hasn't reached its climax. It's going to either continue or start in 2022. And I feel like with this rebirth energy for the Scorpio collective, especially in spring, if you do your work in the winter, whatever that work is, and you don't sit in the energy of hibernation, you don't sit in the energy of stagnation, you don't sit in the energy of like, oh, I'm just going to do it tomorrow or next week. You actually put in skin in the game. You actually put work. You're going to have a wonderful pop back, glow up, you know, rebound, whatever you want to call it, in the spring with this new moon promise. It could be the new moon that's coming up, but with this new moon promise, I feel like there is some big, beautiful new beginning, especially with this being a couple. It looks very datey. It looks very much a couple watching the sunset, as there is like the outline of the new moon. There's a slight, skinny little crescent over here. I don't know if you can see it, but like it's pretty much darking out. It's a new moon. And I feel like with this particular energy, especially if you have not had luck in love, especially if you are not interested in, like, let's say reviving a past relationship, an ex relationship, I feel like with the star card in reverse, the spring equinox and the new moon, rebirth and promise, I feel like if you have given up on love, or love isn't for you, if you had bad experiences in love, don't give up. I feel like the springtime Scorpios, y'all might fuck around and find your whole soulmate. You might F around and realize that your best friend, your co-worker, your neighbor, like that's the one for you. And right underneath your nose. Or it could be a situation where it's just like, I was just minding my business. I wasn't even trying to look for love. It's that type of situation. It could just been like, I'm here to volunteer, and then hey, there it is. Boom. But I feel like with this energy, you have to believe in love. You have to believe in life after love. You have to believe that there is a rainbow after the storm. Somewhere over the rainbow. You got to believe that. To believe is to achieve. And everything from an atom to an atomic bomb all start with a thought. So, and with Mercury energy with this Gemini full moon, come on now. But let's move on to Sagittarius. This is your season, Sag. I feel like you've been quiet, Sagittarius. I don't know. I feel like you've been quiet. Like you've been in the cut. I don't know if you've been thinking on things on that Nine of Wands. I don't know if you've just been on some hermit energy, just been on some like I'm just taking care of me. I'm not really invested. I'm just falling back type of energy. But I feel like you just haven't really been yourself. You haven't really been like that outspoken. I said what I said. I mean what I said. Know it all. No shade, Sagittarius, but you're very much on that know it all type of energy. You've just been keeping close to the chest. Why is that? Is it like scared? Is it like judgmental? You're being judgmental? You think people are being judgmental? Are you trying to compare yourself? Like, what's going on, Sag? I feel like maybe a tad bit insecurity, but it's more so like you're not really saying much. You kind of keeping mum's the word. What's going on, Sagittarius? And it's your season too, so you would be the loudest. What's going on, Sag? I feel like this energy of thinking, contemplation. I did see maybe the Eight of Swords in reverse, and I also saw the Queen of Swords that wanted to pop out, but they didn't full blown pop out. So very much in your head. I wonder about why. Why are you in your head? Is it bills? Is it future? Is it a decision like alimony or divorce or shoot? Let's say your work. Like let's say like studying, like let's say law, let's say college education, just in general. Okay, I'm gonna take it like that. Two cards. Oh shoot. Okay. Keeping it close to your chest because you don't want to let people know what moves you're feeling to make. Okay, Sagittarius says. Okay, you got the King of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune. So you showed up in your own reading too, I guess. With this particular energy, I feel like for the Sagittarius collective, you're about to be making major moves or you're contemplating about the options that you have right in front of you and you're weighing out the pros and cons because when you take action, people are really going to be like, what? You're really going to zoom by. That's why I was saying boomer, zoomer, doomer, gloomer type of energy. You're kind of a chameleon. You're kind of in that shape-shifting energy that Taurus will be getting into. And speaking of Taurus, with that Six of Pentacles in reverse, very much Libra energy. I feel like with this particular energy, and going back with the Tauruses again, even though the Ten of Pentacles can represent like any of the Earth signs, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo, that is the Taurus energy. And then with the Six of Pentacles in reverse, and again, any Earth sign, but very much Libra energy. I feel like that particular energy, and it's going to tie into this with this particular energy for Sag. I feel like with Taurus is where it's like things have been delayed and they have to see how the story turns out basically. I feel like for you Sagittarius it's different. It's like, no, I got options. Like these are the cards on the table. I gotta see what's the best outcome. And it's one of those situations where it's like, is it money or is it longevity? Is it longevity or is it money? Or is it, whatever. It's one of those type of situations. Like it's a pro and cons list basically. And I feel like with this King of Wands energy, you want to make a decision that matters, that has a lot of the flair, the curiosity, the passion, the creativity, the leadership, the blase that you want. But you're also looking at like what is a long-term investment in whatever decision that you make with this Wheel of Fortune, because you're looking at it not just from a now situation, you're looking at it out as a longevity, what's to come in the future. How can this be prosperous? Maybe even for, let's say, a kin of yours, like maybe this could be something like a family business passed down, but it could also be like branching off and doing something totally different. I feel like with this particular energy, you're going to have a lot of fortune. You're going to have a lot of good luck in 2022 with it being a sixth energy vibe. However, it's one of those things where it's like, don't count your eggs before they hatch. It's also the energy of like, You know, don't be too boastful and gloating, because what is giveth can be taketh. But it's also the energy of like, be unapologetic about what you want and pursue it with full tenacity. Whew. Okay, Sag, I like that. I didn't even shuffle no earth magic. I was talking because I wanted to get the message precise. But yeah, it's just being on some grown person dish. But I feel like there's a lot of fortune waiting for you, a lot of opportunities, a lot of like expanding, literally spreading your wings. But, because there's always a but. With great, power comes great responsibilities. How do you delegate that? How do you balance that? How do you prioritize that? How do you go about that? All things to learn in 2022. Okay, let's get a Earth Magic card for the Sag. One more shuffle. One more shuffle. I said one more shuffle. Give us some insights for the Sagittariuses for 2022. What are some themes? What are some insights? What are some gems? What are some messages for the Sagittarius collective? Oh my goodness, music and harmony. You and Libra. Yes, you and Libra. You and Libra. Harmony. Okay. So I was on to there, right? I was on. Because I was like, why am I going back to Taurus? Like, what does that have to do with anything? This is why. I feel like with the Taurus collective, it's like you don't know what's to come, but you still got to go down the road and like have faith. But I feel it with Sagittarius is like nah, it's already here now in the now. So now it's like, okay, what do you do? It's like you've been wishing, you've been hoping, you've been praying, and now it's here. So what do you do? Because this is also a 10. Like the 10 of Wands that was on the back of Cancer. This could be either a new beginning or this could be an ending. You could pass up on the opportunities because you rather deal with what you're dealing with now, or this may not be the right time, or whatever the case may be, or you can take the opportunity. Opportunity, if it's meant for you, will always come back around. It will never pass you by. But also opportunity does not wait. So it's one of those energies of like, pick now, but pick right. And listen to music on your journey, on your decision making, because that could help you see some insights, might confirm something for you. Maybe a favorite song, or even some, like, let's say meditation music might really help you have a more clear understanding, or point out certain things to you that you may have not thought of. Like, it can even be like a song that triggers a memory and you're like, damn, I forgot about that. You know what? That's something else I need to be mindful of. I need to put that on my pros and cons list. It could be something like that, or something that piques an interest and you're like, you know what? I should research about that. I should, see what information I can learn about that. Now let's move on to Capricorn. What's going on with the Caps? What's going on with the Caps? Caps here. What's going on with my Caps? What am I feeling for Capricorn? You know what? I'm feeling like either a middle age or like, not really middle age. We'll say like 30, 40 something year old. And I'm feeling the energy of like someone who is more, let's say, a man who's a little bit more voluptuous. So they got a little bit more extra pounds on them, right? But they're in a boss mode energy. Like, I'm feeling the energy of like Boris, whatever his last name is, from the UK Parliament, Boris something. I'm seeing like that type of aesthetic. but I feel like someone has like judgment on their shoulders. They gotta make a decision as well, but I feel like it's a decision about themselves. It's giving me like someone's critiquing themselves about the role that they played, or the lack of ability to do something, to end something, to best example is very much the saying, let's go Brandon. I feel like someone's having a let's go Brandon moment, if you catch my drift. But they are analyzing like, am I a let's go Brandon? Like, why do people say let's go Brandon to me? Like, is there some truth in that? I feel like it's that type of energy. It's like, damn, is that me? Do I have those traits? Like, am I really that unlikable? Am I really that? It's one of those type of energies. Like, when SpongeBob realizes that he's ugly, but he's not really ugly, it's just his brush stank. It's one of those energies where it's just like, damn, is that what y'all think of me? Is that how I look? It's like someone's having like a ego death. Yeah. What's going on, Caps? Sheesh. One more shuffle. What's going on for my Capricorn collective spirit? Give me some insights for my Capricorns. What's going on for my Caps? Something flipped over. King of Pentacles. Ooh, business moves? Maybe. Interestingly enough, I did check the bottom of the deck, and it's the Four of Pentacles in reverse, which is Cap energy, Four of Pentacles. So with the King of Pentacles, Capricorns, you're thinking about your money, which is very Capricorn of you. It might be thinking about a divorce or having to separate money. You might have to like divide your money, or I'm not even gonna lie, Capricorn, I just do not see this above you, but like even hiding money, maybe even money laundering. I feel like someone's trying to see how they can make their money make more money, trying to hide their money, separate their money, but someone's really thinking about their possible money moves. Maybe you're looking for opportunities to invest. Maybe you're trying to get into crypto or understand NFTs. I don't know either, so don't even ask me. But it's the energy of like prosperity, but like long-term prosperity. Kind of like new money versus like old money. Let's see. Maybe you're getting into financial planning. Maybe you're getting a financial planner. Maybe you're trying to see what can you invest in. Maybe you have a little bit of extra income and you're trying to figure out what's the best profitable thing to invest in. Maybe you're taking more responsibility over your finances and budgeting. Maybe you're trying to get a better job, or you're trying to apply to a job, or rise within the ranks of your company. Let's see. One more shuffle for my Capricorns. My Capricorns. Do you like candy corn? I don't know why I thought about that. Do you like candy corn? That's just for Capricorns, but in general, do y'all like candy corn? Honestly, like everybody else, like, ew, no. But like, if I really wanted something sweet and I really had nothing else and I was kind of hungry, I would eat candy corn. Like all the provisions that I have to have just to eat it lets you know it's just not that appetizing. Ain't nobody said like I had to be like extra hungry and like damn near on my deathbed to eat a Ferrero Rocher nugget. Like no one's ever said that ever. Fog veil. So I feel like what this is like seeing the clouds from the mountains or the trees, or however the saying goes, Capricorn. I feel like with a fog veil, it could be like someone about to get exposed for like mishandling their money, stealing money, not paying their taxes, moving money around in secret accounts. The IRS might be knocking. And that's for a small portion of y'all. But I feel like for the overwhelming majority with the frog veil, I feel like with that, it's something coming into clarity, something you've been thinking about, something that you've been sitting on, especially if it's in regards to money. Like, we earth signs, I get it. I don't play about my money either. Like, I feel like with this, it might be getting down to maybe someone has hacked your accounts or mismanaged your money. But I feel like it's taking on responsibility in regards to your stability, in regards to your finances, in regards to the direction that you want to go. It's very much in boss mode, very much in the captain seat, and very much being responsible, taking accountability for either the way that you've moved in the past, the way that you want to move in the future, or how you want to make your money work for you. So that's what I'm getting, Capricorn. Very Capricorn of you. But I'm not going to talk shade because y'all saw what Taurus has had and y'all saw what Virgo had. So I'm not shading. I'm just stating facts. Let's move on to, let's move on to Aquarius. I thought that I didn't pull up an Earth Magic card, but I did. Aquarius says, you know what I heard? I don't know if you've ever did this as a kid, but I was one of those kids who did like cheer and did like little kid hand games. I just heard after I said Aquarius, I heard a warrior. My name is Keisha. A warrior, they call me Kiki. A warrior, and I'm gonna show ya. A warrior, how I break it all down. Something like that. I forgot. It's been a long time since I've been on the black top, but you know what I'm talking about. It's one of those little kid games. I feel that. Someone might be introducing themselves, and someone might be sassy. Someone might be raising a little girl, might have a little girl. Maybe someone has realized that they're very cocky, very, let's say, more than confidence, less than arrogant. That type of energy. Maybe full of yourself, self-centered type of energy. Maybe someone is trying to war over something. Maybe war over like parental rights. Might be someone might feel like they're entitled to something, or they're in a battle stage in their lives, their personal development, something like that. Let's do one more shuffle for Aquarius. It's kind of like a satellite. I'm trying to pick up on something. Because I literally see a little black girl. This is going to be like 2005. A little black girl with the Adidas, not Adidas, is the Reeboks. The Reeboks, what I call rat face nose. I don't know what the legitimate term is, but it's like that weird, like long, but the tip is kind of like cut in the front. It's not even pointy. Reeboks is, if you know Reeboks, it's not even pointy, but it's like this. Anyways, I call it rat face nose. I don't know what the term is, but I think it's Reebok Classics. Reebok Classics. That's what I think they're called. I never liked the shape of that shoe. But the point is, I'm seeing that on a little, like, let's say 3rd to 5th grade girl. And she's like out in a black top, like, and it's like the summertime. She has her little like skirt, a little like halter top. This is like 2005, so she got a little perm or relaxer, and she's like just boldly like doing the black top little girl, chants and whatever. That's what I'm seeing, but I don't know why I'm seeing that, because it's been a very long time since I've been at a public park with kids. And I don't even have kids. I'm feeling that type of energy. Someone might be showcasing their skills. Someone might be confident or trying to fake the confidence. Childish, mean girl. I don't know. What's that? Aquarius, what's going on? You're being weirder than usual. No shade. I pick on every sign, including my own. You got the 10 of Pentacles in reverse, just like Taurus is. Are you linked up with a Taurus? You know what? Uranus is currently retrograde in Taurus right now, so maybe. Are you splitting from something? Like, are you trying to get custody? Because, I see the little black girl, warrior. Like, he's trying to get custody. Have you apparent alienation? Did you break up with a family? Did you have a side baby? Did you find out a child ain't yours? Like, what is this with the 10 of Pentacles in reverse? Someone lost their family. Maybe someone lost custody. Maybe someone feels, this could also be something. This could be a situation. I'm going to 10 of Pentacles in reverse that represents like legacy, family, this and the third. It could be a breakup, divorce, but it could also be like a twin flame situation. It could be a situation where someone didn't act right quick enough, and they like may have lost, like, let's say their soulmate, the love of their life. and they have like resulted to accepting the fact that they fucked up, especially if there was on some fuckboy shit, like they didn't want to take up responsibility. There was, you know, out in these streets being a gutter snake. They were lying, future faking, being narcissistic, being, let's say, what is the term? Maybe like tracer runner, where someone's anxious in a relationship, where they're like codependent and needy, and then there's someone who's very like disconnected, very isolating, very cold, very disengaged in a relationship. And I feel like that particular person with this Aquarius energy could have been the person who ran away, and then they realized that they ran away from maybe like the love of their lives, and they can't go back. I'm feeling with this energy, maybe this person has moved on. Maybe this person made a bad decision. They got married to someone that they shouldn't have gotten married to. Maybe even had a child with this person, and now they're stuck in that situation instead of like doing what was appropriate for them, perhaps on their soul mission of repairing the relationship with the, let's say, anxious person. Maybe they, you know, made too many wrong turns and now they just got to settle in it. A warrior. I feel like this was maybe a bum fight. I feel like maybe this was one of those like uh 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 a bum deal. I'm feeling like the energy of Afghanistan withdrawal. Like you've been fighting for so long and you lost. You spent so much money and you lost. It's one of those situations where it's like you chose your pride, but then you lost everything, including your pride. You thought like sacrificing your pride. Maybe this is the energy. I don't know why I'm picking up on the story, but picking up the story like someone didn't want to commit. Someone didn't want to be open. Someone didn't want to be vulnerable. They were running away from a situation. But now they realize the grass isn't greener on the other side, but they can't go back to what was because what was no longer exists. So they're in that limbo hangman energy of trying to pick up the same energy signature of the past, but the past is the past, and the now is the now, and the future is the future. They want to exist in the past, in the present, but that's not how life goes. I feel like this person is very much the Six of Cups in reverse, very much nostalgic, very much looking at old pictures, very much searching for the past, yearning for the past, very much, you know, dejected, rejected, yearn. This is also holiday season. This is also Christmas season. So they may not be with their family. Maybe the person that they really wanted, they've moved on, they have their own family, or they just don't have access to that person anymore. So now it's like the feelings of I wish I had love. I wish I had a family. I wish I was with my girl. I wish I could have, should have, would have, regret, blah, 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 blah. That type of energy. And speaking of lightning and power and all of that, and I talked about clouds, shape shifting. Damn, that is Taurus energy, huh? With the lightning power. With the, like I said, with Taurus, um, uh, the clouds, the shape shifting energy. I was talking about how clouds look different, and like there are certain clouds because of global warming that spew out lightning because we're effing up the earth. When I say we, I mean the corporations, but that's a different discussion for a different YouTube channel. but with this particular energy, lightning and power. Oh my God, it's really quiet outside. Like no cars are running. Sorry. I just wanted to hear what that sounded like. Complete silence before the car started rushing down. It feels kind of like time has frozen, especially since you know it's later in the day and it's dark and it's raining. Like yes, but still, I live close to a main street, so it's always bustling. So anytime where it's like a minute or two and there's no cars, there's no nothing, it's kind of like let's appreciate this silence because this rarely happens. Um, with the lightning and power though, I feel like with this particular energy, someone cut their nose to spite their face. And I feel like they needed this karma. They needed this like set down. Like this is giving me tower energy. It's like someone realized that they are the demon, that they were trying to point fingers at other people, that they are their own casualties. They are their own F-ups. They are their own, hang-ups, and the person that's holding them back, it's them. And the power to change is within them, but they've chosen chaos. And I feel like they caused so much destruction in other people's life that is coming back to them, and they don't know how to deal with that. I feel like they're having tower moments on so many freaking levels, and it's really because they built a tower thinking that their tower is indestructible, but on top of them thinking that their tower is indestructible, it's kind of like throwing rocks and hiding your hand. Like, I can take from other people, I can manipulate other people, I can be narcissistic to other people, I can this and the third to other people, but like, it's okay because I'm me. It's okay because that's not my intent. It's okay because I can always excuse it away. But I feel like something happened within this particular person's life where it's like all of that karma came back around and it dumpster piled on them, and now they're buried in it. And now it's kind of like, oh shit. It's like all your debt piling up at the same time and being dropped on you at the same moment. It's just like, what the F? At least I could have, move some things around and put something on like layaway or something, or whatever. But like, damn, everything at the same time, all the bills at the same goddamn thing. It's one of those situations. But I feel like this particular person has been playing games for so long. Like, they've been avoiding their karma for so long. Like, Spirit was like, fuck it. Here's everything that you need to deal with. This is everything that you've ever done. And this person is like kind of like the electric chair. They fry themselves, but it's really because of their own actions. They could look at it as judge, jury, and executor. Like, everybody's picking on me, everybody's doing this to me, everybody's. But they convicted themselves, they judged themselves, they executed themselves when they decided to take advantage, right? Karma often is seen as like, woe is me, but karma is always just, is always fair. You don't get more or less than what you deserve. What you do is what you get. Karma, even Stevens. And I feel like with this particular person, I don't know if it's the narcissism, the delayed adolescence, the arrogance, the entitlement, but they really thought that karma did not belong to them, and now they're realizing that they have a whole heap full of karma and then some. But anywho, we are moving on. It's Pisces. I see the Eight of Pentacles that popped up as I was shuffling. So Pisces is something in regard to money, finances, work. Work. Maybe you and Aries, okay? Maybe you have Aries placements. Maybe you're dating an Aries. Maybe you have like cardinal like ambitions. You're ambitious about work, ambitious about starting a new job, maybe starting or learning new skills, being about something different, getting on a better routine. Maybe it's like a meal prepping type of thing. So you can save yourself time, but also eat a balanced and nutritious meal without and it's already pre-cooked, so you don't have to spend more money than you should. I'm reflecting. I'm not even like having a thought. Maybe you're in reflection. Maybe you're in your hangman type of energy. Reflecting over the year, reflecting over your life, where you're at, what you want to do. But I'm feeling this energy of reflection. Self-evaluation, but not like critiquing or tearing down. More so like, all right, what's this vision board looking like? What is this, let's say, goal chart looking like? What is this vision board looking like? That's the type of energy that I see. Damn, Pisces. We have the Ace of Cups in reverse. And out of curiosity, I checked the bottom of the deck and you have the Page of Cups in reverse too. Maybe you're pulling back from something because maybe something's happening too quick or something doesn't feel right. Maybe you pent up. Maybe you want something, but you haven't had something in a long time. Something long and strong. It could be a lot of things actually. It could be like detachment. It could feel the energy of detachment. It could be the energy of like, I want to start something, I want to do something, but I can't right now for whatever reason. It could feel like you're stuck or you're stagnant in a particular energy. You could be like taking your energy, your care, your love, your attention, and pouring it back into yourself. It could be like, nope, I need me more than anybody else needs me, so I'm going to cater myself to myself. It could be that particular energy. There's a couple of cards that flipped over. Okay. I did see the first card being island, solitude. So you might feel like you are on your own island. You might feel isolated, and because you feel isolated, you feel like you're on your own island. Maybe you feel like there's certain things that you can't talk about, or you feel like you're burdened by. Again, that Eight of Pentacles wanted to show up, so it could be money issues or lack of economic opportunities, or the work that you do, you don't feel like you're compensated for it or not enough for it. You might feel like maybe your nurturing skills are being taken advantage of, since the cards wanted to flip over and like vomit. I see that as it's split, and I also see new moon in reverse too. We've had those cards come out before. I think Gaia with Virgo, which is like work, money, routine, wellness, and new moon with Leo, right? Yeah, so you might have those aspects in your chart too, but I feel like maybe you feel it's not balanced. You're doing too much. Maybe let's say you're in care work. Maybe you're working with children. You have children, or even you feel like you've just been giving too much. You've been doing too much. You've been investing in too much. You're not getting the same in return. You feel like you're being overworked. I did talk about that with Virgo. You know, making sure that you take time out for yourself and not doing things that are outside of character. You know, no shade. They say a Virgo, retrograde Virgo, low vibrational Virgo will sacrifice their morals for money. But, and I'm not saying that's necessarily you, Pisces, but it might feel like things ain't adding up to the point where you like, damn, I might have to sell my goddamn kidney. I'm feeling that type of energy. It's like some type of stressor where it's just like there has to be more to life. There has to be a better option. There has to be something better than this. Eagle, communication. One of my self-care portraits, not even portraits because it's not of anybody, so I should say like self-care paintings for self-care process painting that I did is of an owl, though this is not an eagle, but I'm literally staring at it as I am shuffling cards. And the energy that I'm seeing with this Ace of Cups in reverse and this Eagle communication, you might feel disconnected from your intuition, disconnected from your happiness, disconnected from your let's even say mental health, because of this energy of like things feel as if it's not going your own way or you're the way that you want to, or money is funny, or like you're being overexhausted. I'm feeling the energy of tired, the energy of like lethargic, the energy of like you can't get enough sleep because you're still tired. It's that type of energy. And I feel like ego and communication, this might be time out for you to do some soul searching. This might be some time out for you to do some full moon ceremonies here, this being the moon being illuminated with this eagle. I see a person here too. This could be like a shaman type of energy with Aries. So maybe you have an Aries in your life that you should lean on and communicate with, and maybe they could help you with certain things. Maybe they can give you advice or even give you reference or recommend you to someone or something. But also I feel like with this is asking for help, asking for support, asking for even like words of encouragement, like asking for positive vibes, asking for prayership. Don't let anybody and everybody pray over your head. I don't let just anybody pray over my head. Truth be told, I don't really like nobody praying over my head but me. I'm gonna be honest with you. But if you feel inclined, if you feel like you trust it, then do so. You know, talk to the people around, especially with this being the Ace of Cups. Maybe feminine advice, maybe your mother, your sisters, your cousins, your friends, your women friends, or people that make you feel special and feel celebrated and feel loved. But I feel like with this energy, speak on it, release it, even maybe do a burning ceremony, maybe do one of those things where you got to write it out, you got to flesh it out. Flesh it out, flush it out, flush it out. I feel like flesh it out sounds kind of serial killy. Flesh it out, flush it out. I feel like you should flush it out. You should talk about it, right? And through communication, through talking about it, you might help. You might resolve it. Sometimes you gotta let it out and speak it out loud and be like, "Oh shit, you know what? I'm gonna do that." It's one of those situations where it's like, "Oh damn, I really needed this talk because I needed to like hear it out loud. I needed to practice what was on my mind. I needed to hear it. I needed to say it. I need to be in that vibration for me to be like, oh, I think I solved my own question. Okay." It's one of those type of energies, but I definitely feel like get it off your chest so you can get a clear point of view, so you can get some type of clarity, some type of resolution, so you can have this Ace of Cups that's upside down, and turn it upside right. You know? So those are the things I feel like will start off your 2022, but I feel like they will even itself out, especially by the time your birthday comes around, Pisces, or even Aries energy comes around. I feel like with this particular energy, it will work itself out if you ask for help and communicate it, which is Gemini full moon, and Gemini being all about that talk, 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 Mercury ruling it. But that's what I have for the collective. Hopefully it hits, hopefully it resonates. I've talked long enough. But overall energy that I'm feeling for the collective is very hopeful. It's very much like taking charge of your own life, making decisions, making plans, you know, being adaptable to the energies, and letting go and letting God. Like that's the magic of Gemini. Like even when Kanye, like he's all types of like captastic, but he means what he says what he means, and he persuades people. Like I've seen Kanye's fashions. They are a lot of things but fashionable to me. But this doesn't matter about my opinion if this man knows that he is going to um sell and then sell out. Just sell out within a couple of minutes. It doesn't matter what I think if that is the outcome, and that is the outcome. So it's one of those situations like you gotta believe in yourself before other people don't believe in you. Because how you gonna make me believe in you when you don't believe in yourself? You can't even pitch yourself. You can't even elevator pitch yourself. You're not looking me in the eye. You hush mouth. You hunch back. You scared. You sweating. You hyper ventilating. Why should I trust you when you look like you scamming? Even if you're not scamming, you look insecure, you look unsure, but you want me to believe in you when you don't even believe in you. So it's one of those energies that I feel with this particular form. When you gotta believe in your own magic, you gotta believe in your own boom. You gotta believe in your artistry, your specialty, your uniqueness, your ability to create, right? Very much of that Gemini and Virgo energy with that magician card. You could start off this new year with that magician energy, manifesting whatever you want to, especially when we know with the magician has the wand, the sword, the pentacle, the cup. It has all the elements, it has everything within it to create the reality that it so sees fit. Very much Whitney Houston's I I'm every woman. It's all in me. Everything you want to come, baby. Hmm, hmm, It's very much of that energy. Like life is for the taking. So what you feeling to do? Sit on your ass and complain, or are you feeling to take charge and create your own way? Very much of that chariot card of an energy. But that's what I have for the collective. Hopefully it resonates. All the shameless plugs and everything that you'll need to know will be in the description box down below. I am on social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Black Woman. Oh, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Paint Your Truth. And on Instagram, it's paintyourtruth underscore. Don't forget the underscore. And via email, you can reach out to me at paintyourtruth.art@gmail.com. And I think that's all. Oh, I'm also on TikTok. So TikTok would be Travel Tales. It's nothing that has to do with painting, nothing that has to do with spirituality. It's just things that I go to, experiences that I have, events that I enjoy. I give you a little quick synopsis, and that's just that on that. So that's where you can find me. And that's all I have. Let me end with the singing bowl before I forget. Let's do 3 taps. Inhale, exhale with each tap. All right, y'all. This has been fun. Thank you for participating. For those who are going to catch us on a playback, hopefully you enjoy. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Definitely join this sector, this corner of YouTube. And I hope to see you in the year of 2022. Hopefully, all your abundance, all your wishes, all your goals come true. And hopefully, you release all the things that no longer serve you so you can have your best life, live your best life in 2022. So let me let you go because I don't want to hit 3 hours, as well as I am exhausted and parched. With that being said, y'all, be blessed, be enlightened, be loved. I am out. Peace.